Welcome, welcome. It is Sunday night here on Petunia's Gaming Village, right? That's what we're going with. Wait, are we like live with our voices on, or just the? I will take it as a yes. Okay. Hello, hello. My name is Martini. We have are you going? So is it deadline officially now? Is it still Viper? What are you going with?
So officially, for me, it's deadline, but everybody still call me Viper. So officially
Okay.
unofficial.
Okay. Do you prefer to now be called deadline, or
I mean, for
I'm
now,
assuming?
it's fine. Deadline, Viper, I'll take both.
During this transition period. Okay, okay, deadline. I will start pushing the deadline. Is it deadline V? Is it just deadline and those are the crying emojis? I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
well, when I was like changing my name, since Oculus doesn't allow like any dashes, and someone already took deadline, so I had to put something on instead of like a number or a letter. You can only put those two at the very end. So I just put like a little face.
Okay, that's at first I was like deadline V. Interesting, interesting, interesting. And then now that I'm like looking at the full name, I'm like, oh my god, those are crying emojis. What am I looking at? So it's just kind of funny to see it now. Any reason? Started pry, I guess, but any reason for
No.
the name change, or this is something you've been wanting to and you just finally got around to it?
Yeah, something I've been wanting to for a while. Like, I've had viper phobia for a long time, and I was like, it sounds a little kiddish now. It's like I want something a little bit more,
Really? You
profound.
think viperphobia
I think
sounds
viper phobia is
huh,
kiddish.
interesting? No, no, I've never thought that. Like it's funny hearing people and the reasoning for the different name changes. I think one that I recently had found out, which I didn't realize was K, switching from avocado or something of that sort. I actually did not know K before the name change. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But it was funny because I had a um teammate previously on the slot stores in like my Vermal team go through a name change. Not previously, but like oh yeah, previously, I guess not recently. But BG, as most people currently know, BG, I actually knew what was it, Among Us or something like that. Something of that kind of variation, but he went through a change, and it was so funny being a teammate because obviously with the call outs, you're so used to calling a very specific name, and then now you have to switch out your callouts. So it's just funny to hear people go through their name changes and the reasoning behind it. So funny that's I didn't realize that was your reasoning. I thought because you wanted to switch to Deadline for maybe you just preferred it in the sense of like you like how it sounds more, but I didn't realize that was the reason. Interesting.
Because like we know, like some people switch it for the game that they're playing. Because I know like
That's
Kay,
true.
when you said the um, avocado, the reason that she changed it wasn't because of the name. It was more because of it was hard or too long to pronounce whenever you wanted to get her attention,
When
and that's
I
why she's
heard
shortened it
that,
down.
yeah, I remember saying, "Oh, like yeah, I guess you can say like Kato or Avo," but I get it. I get K is like it's like single syllable almost, right? Because the letter K. So yeah. Looks like we are going off for the joust. Do you want to take this off, deadline?
So on, let's see, we got going up against. Let's see, trip a little bit. All right, so we have blue team. Let's see. I don't have the UI popped up. Chuckles, so I can easily see. But we have BG going into the bubble, confidently going into the but drops it. Oh no, and gets picked up by orange team. Ghost is able to clear it down, but again, because of the game, we have a perma goalie, and now we have Andrew with the disc, clearing it right back to the hands of, let's see, blue team. Blue team chucking it into the bubble with no clear pass. Seems like a panic throw. Tries to go for a shot, but misses and he gets cleared back, but still in the possession of blue team. BG finding a pass to Shakes. Shakes struggling to get the hand on the disc, but able to take it out through the bubble, but not to a direct person. Another panic pass, but still in the possession of blue team. So we can see like orange team is doing a lot of good defense here, man coverage on the blue team's offensive play, and they're able to get the disc. But there seems to be like a lot of clearing down the field, but it seems to be working on their favor. But no, not really. No, it's not.
I always say with this, I think new meta, you could call it. People are so used to some habitual stuff from 4v4s, and a lot of teams did play more clear and chase, right?
Yeah.
Which can work, but with here, as we see with the perma goalies, It doesn't quite work unless the team is really good at getting those kind of bounces that don't go right into goal, right?
Yeah.
And wow, beautiful. I guess play right there by BG. Got the pass, went straight in for the. Was that a dunk? Wow, right dunk off the bottom. So 2 points on the board for. Let me double check. What team is? It's West Coast Wired, right? Did I get that right?
I believe so,
I
West
do
Coast Wired.
not have it on my screen right now, but it's fine. Looks like we have the pass off to the tunnels to Kit Kat. Kit Kat's looking around for a pass, but it does go right off of Pack. Does not quite work out, and it does get saved by the defender as they try to clear. And it does somehow make its way out of their hands. And wow, none of my stuff's working right now, but it's fine. Looks like going for the really deep pass, and that's what I was talking about with the goalie, right? They were there, able to receive it and kind of send it right back from that clear, you know. So it's always funny to see how these teams handle it and how the goalies, how active they are with moving forward, right, with the disc out of um, the enemy's hands, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think like because of this playstyle, I don't know if you've been playing on it, does it really force you to change the way that you play?
Oh yeah. I noticed at least for me, I try to play a lot more conservative when I finally have my hand on the disc. But you know, there's still kind of that habit where I feel like I might need to clear something if I get like a red call. That's what makes this a lot harder, right? Once you finally get a red call, where do you send it? Do you go in for that deep clear that might be picked up by the goalie anyways, or do you clear it back to your goalie? Is that but the fact that they have so many people on your side of the arena, is that a risky play to make? Where you can do the reset, but someone might be quickly on them, right? Because I can see a thing where if you play goalie reset too often on your team, the other team might pick that up. They might maybe have, kind of the stack in the back waiting for you to do that pass, so then they do a quick, attack on the goal. But maybe we're overthinking some of the meta already, considering we're not hardcore into this meta yet, and people are still feeling things out and not really playing it too, because it's still a rec league, right? So people aren't
Yeah,
going crazy on the meta and play styles that you should play in this 5v5 format, right? But I do think it forces me to play a little more conservatively with some of these clears and looking around for, I would say, team passing options versus always going for the clear, right?
for sure. And it's more like, as you said, the league was made a little bit more, not for too much competitive play, but more to have fun and with friends.
Hmm.
And then you group it
Hmm.
up with, which is surprising to see for this rec league. You would have thought that whenever people made teams, because I remember Chuckle saying this, most of them could have just decided to join in as a VRML team. But most of the time, they took this opportunity to be just play with friends that maybe, or even new players that you haven't played around with. And it's really nice to see that this rec league brought all these people together and give them a chance and opportunity to play and have fun.
Definitely. I mean, I've seen some teams obviously go for the Vermal kind of composition or setup, but you're right. Honestly, I'm surprised like a good amount of people did not end up doing that, which is good to see. I like people kind of going for, I guess, fun options. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with going for competitive options, but it's cool to see people like being open to that idea, right? So always fun. Wow, my UI is not working for some reason. This
Uh,
is yeah.
Chuckles, I think our UI isn't. Let's see. Let's see if we can do something.
Oh, do you need me to share out? I can share it to you if you want. And
Yes, that'd be cool.
let me see if I can get this. Wow, this is not working. Cool. I will share it with you 1 second.
Appreciate it. Technical difficulties.
Yes, I will be taking over. Where is this smoother video? That's interesting to see. Alright, Chuckles, I think you can drop the stream. I got it for deadline. It'll
Appreciate
be
it.
better for you anyways. I won't have the names, but UI is there. You see it?
Yep. All good. Go.
Cool. I think you can work it out. I think you can work it out. Yes, looks we got 2 more points on the board for West Coast Wired from BG, right? I think West Coast Wired is blue. Yes, yes, yes.
Seems to be a nice even match too. 5 minutes on, 6 minutes on, 5 minutes on the clock. Um, it seems to be 4-on-4, very even, very like no one's more, overkill. Everything
No,
seems to be
I'm always a sucker for even games.
yeah,
It's just not as fun when you see that easy, quick 10-point difference. And you're right, we're about how long are the rounds again? 12
12
minutes?
minutes.
Yeah, we're 6, 7 minutes into these games, and it's only 8 points total, but they're both tied at this point, right? So I forgot if a team has gotten OT yet, but I don't think we've gotten OT yet for
I
any
don't
of the
think we
games.
have.
We have? Oh, we don't allow OT. Never mind, it doesn't matter. So it's just league play, you get a draw, whatever, right? Okay, okay. Still, we haven't done like a draw, I guess would be a better way of saying it. Which would be very interesting to see. Because I have never in my life of playing Echo seen a draw. And anyway, obviously with the OT rules, it literally does not allow that. But it would be very interesting to finally see a draw for the first time in my Echo life. Before it ends, right? So I'm not telling the teams that they should be more even, but you know. So yeah.
Surprisingly, yeah, throughout the Rec League, you haven't seen any teams or any games that I've seen personally where it's been like over like the score is so big of a gap in between the two teams. I don't know if you have.
I think there was a couple ones at the beginning, but obviously things have changed. So I think now that like people kind of balance with certain pools, I definitely heard at the beginning there were some rough games. But yeah, you're right. And I think also just even some of the league rules kind of lend itself to be that way, right? When you have that 7 point difference, it forces that 4v5, and especially in this format, it's a lot, I think, harder to manage than when you have like a 4v4. You can manage. I honestly think you can manage a 3v4 better than you can manage a 4v5 in this format. Because when you have one person on your team always has to be a perma goalie, that means in those attacking options, when you have that 4v5, it ends up being a 3v5, which is definitely a lot harder to score on, right? Because now you
I
have
was
that
just
extra
gonna
person
jump in.
on.
We've only had two games where there was a really big disparity in the 4 weeks we've been doing this. So 8 weeks, 8 games a week, and that's when we've made some shifts with the pools. So it hasn't happened that often. Most of the time it stays, and even if somebody does get up by 7, a lot of time the other team can use that to come back. So we've only had it happen a couple times.
Yep. Well, do you want to explain that? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when it has that 7 point difference, one of the team that has the 7 points up has to drop one of the players down, and I believe it's still technically you're required to still have that perma goalie in the back. So, like I was explaining earlier, it ends up being on the attacking option. A 3v5 situation because that one attacking team that's one down a person has that goalie in the back, right? I will say on the defensive option, it ends up being sort of similar because you still have it's 4 people up and it ends up being a 4v4. Granted, that feels more like, I guess you would say, normal Echo, right? Where you have 4v4, then one of the people ends up being the goalie, so it's really a 3.5 versus 4 situation. But anyways, we're not overdoing the numbers here. The point is, the number difference does make kind of lend it to be more balanced. If the team gets a little too ahead of itself, right? So it's cool to see. I like it. I like more balanced games. I notice myself too when I'm playing these games, and I notice that there's too big of a point disparity. I kind of relax a little bit more because I don't need to like push hard on the points, right? I'm here to have fun, kind of relax a little bit. Sometimes maybe I try to have more fun by like going for left-handed, or doing better passing options, something like that, right? So it's cool. It's cool to see.
No, yeah, for sure. Being able to play in the Rec League, have you noticed something because of the perma goalie in the back being able to get all those clears? Is there a certain way that you've been tossing the disc whenever like you get pressured and you have no passes? Is there like a go-to pass for those watching that you can tell them what to do in those
Like
situations?
those
Or have you just
deeper
been good? Yeah,
clears, or
yeah,
what do you
for
mean?
yeah, for like a deeper clear. Let's say you at the
Yeah.
defense. Yeah, you get the disc.
Mm.
You're able to turn it over, but the enemy team is surrounding you and you don't have any passes. You have to toss it somewhere.
You're forcing me to clear.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You're
yeah,
forcing them to
honestly,
clear.
I wish I was better on resetting back to my goalie, but I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. So what I end up doing is it depends on what side of the arena I'm on, right? If I'm on my defending half, I tend to go for bounces off, I think, tunnels. So when you look at the tunnels, obviously it's not exactly flat. It has a lot of weird shape and geometry in there, and that's why I really hate clearing towards tunnel normally because you just can't read it the best. But I feel like in this format, it actually lends itself to be better because a lot of the times when it bounces off of tunnel and it's kind of bouncing in the middle of the attacking half of wow, beautiful sort of slam dunk pass play by Lord Death and who was that Ghost Minaj? Sorry, I just had to call it out. 2 points on the board for race. So still even wow this team, but sorry, as I was explaining earlier, it kind of bounces more towards the middle and not necessarily all the way through to the goalie. So the weird geometry and angles inside the tunnels, I kind of hit some of the edges and it bounces in towards the middle and allows one of my teammates to pick it up. However, because it goes a lot slower because of the edge bouncing, it does make it easier for someone to pick it up on the enemy team. So it's kind of it works sometimes for us, but it doesn't. But that's usually what I do, a weird tunnel, like inside tunnel bounce into the middle area on the attacking half. If I'm on the attacking half, you kind of just I actually try to whip it across. Because I always assume, because I try to do this when I'm playing in a game, like I try to be always like give my teammate a cross option if possible. So I hope my teammates do the same. So there are times where I do clears and I do a cross clear where I do it across, the arena. Sometimes high or low, I don't really know where, but try to do a cross pass, hoping someone on my team is on the other side. Or if I'm in bubble, I'm gonna be honest, if I'm low or high, I actually do the opposite vertical. So if I'm on the floor like carpet, I need to clear, I clear up, hoping it's gonna bounce back into like maybe nest area and then someone's there, or vice versa. If I'm on nest, I kind of bounce down, hoping someone's on carpet or floor. Um, doesn't always work, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean that's clears, right? When you have those
For
like
sure.
slap clears and you're kind of just winging it, you try your best to use your peripherals that you saw a second earlier before you cleared to like go somewhere, or if you heard your teammates somewhere. But here's the thing: in this style, you have open comms, so that's not even that reliable because you can hear voices, but they're not necessarily your teammate. So it's harder. It's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. Like the fact that we have open comms, it actually feels more like a real sport in a sense of like when you're playing something like soccer and you're on the field, you can hear the other teammates' comms, right? Versus I think a lot of esports they tend to close it down to team comms and don't allow open comms, right? So it's interesting to see that. Funny enough, doing open comms, even though you would say it's less competitive, I would argue it feels closer to a more competitive sport because you have to deal with enemy comms also.
Sure. A nice dunk by BG. Assist by Romeo. That's 2 points for blue team. Let's see. 12 minutes on the clock. Now with the comms, as you say, yeah, it keeps it more competitive because now you have to figure out a way to like, how do I communicate with my team? How can I get my teammate and let him know where I want them to pass to? How to communicate, where my position is if I want him to hit a good pass to say that I'm open. I can't calm it up too early, but also can't calm it up too late because if I come it up too early, the enemy will hear me and immediately start covering my butt. But if I say it too late, then he won't know where I'm at if he doesn't see me on his peripheral view where he's looking at, and then he's not able to get the disc towards me. And it's like you gotta make sure to rely on your team and look at your disc holder. Be able to see your teammate having the disc. All right, now where can I be? That makes it so easy for him to pass to me. And also have to keep in mind the enemy, since it is like 5-on-5. Whenever you're on the offensive, when you're on the offensive and you're on the bubble of the enemy team, you have to be sure to look around you and hear as well any enemy going around you, because you'd be looking at the disc holder, but if you're looking at the disc holder the whole time and not looking around you, then you won't even know that you're covered, and he'll sneak attack you from the back once you get that pass. So you got to be really careful. You got to be really observant of what's going, not only what the disc holder is doing, but also what's around you, what's going on
Yeah.
around you.
That's why I always found it interesting when people said open comms was less competitive, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It actually spikes the difficulty because I always said that I remember like in teaching sessions when I was doing coaching stuff, I would argue open comms allows the enemy team to have, I would say, quote unquote um perfect comms or perfect vision on the field because now you're also aware of what the enemy is doing, more so than you would be without team comms. And I get it, like in esports, because that's more of a common thing of being able to have these team comms. I think it makes it more competitive and harder. I would argue. Like I said, similar to live sports, where it's not like in live sports when someone's playing, in soccer, it's not like everyone has like headphones in and they're only listening to their teammates talking, right? You can hear everybody talking. So it's just interesting to see what people consider sports, esports, and all the kind of the difference in rules and what people are used to habitually, right? So I don't know. It was just so funny thinking about that today because I've been trying to be more active and playing more sports recently, and I was like, huh, like open comms actually can be considered competitive, which is so funny because everyone. I feel like a lot of people. But what I'm playing in the echo community always have very, especially when they're competitive players, they have very strong opinions on comms versus like open comms versus closed comms. And it's just interesting. It's interesting to see, I would say. And wow, so close shot from I think Moosh there, right off the ding ring. Not the most fun, sound to hear in this game, but it is fun to hear when you're on the opposite team. I will say that for sure.
For sure. And we got Kit Kat moving up the arena, looking behind, seeing if there's any stack coming their way. But that stack was really fast and able to take it away and clear it back down to the orange side. And the goalie, Ghost Skywalker, obviously going to get it, but get intercepted by Moosh, going for a long shot but misses, but is picked up by Moosh and able to slam it right in for 2 points.
Wow, that was very unfortunate for the goalie. It was kind of bouncing back and forth. I'm sure they were not expecting that. And it looks like this is one of the first times in this game we're having a solid lead, I would say, from the team. It looks like West Coast Wired is actually up by 4 points. So this is interesting to see, finally, this game. Such a close game. Finally opening up to one of the teams. But we'll see if Rays can say, I heard Martini say that in the background. I know we're coming back. I don't, I always wonder if people play the cast while they're actively playing the game. Because I can definitely speak to the fact that, when you're playing live and you have casters talking about what's going on, it definitely feels pretty cool. You feel like an athlete. You feel like you're playing a real live game, and it's wild to hear. Because my favorite story was always at it was like the Nephilan, where my team was doing one of our Vermal games. It was the one I was on Sloss. And I remember Luke, the funniest question. He was just like, "Can I catch your game?" And I was like nervous, and I was like, "What? What?" I was like, "We're not that good." And then he's like, "It's fine. We'll just catch a game. It's fine. We'll do it live in front of the 10 people." Also, on top of
We're
just
not
catching
that
the game.
good. We're not that good. You're
No, I said me.
amazing.
I meant me. I mean me,
Shade,
Tasha. I mean like we're not like
shade,
I don't know. I meant
shade.
me. We're not that good.
I'm
But
sorry.
I was yeah. I just didn't feel confident yet in casting, like being casted. So I was like, "Ah, I don't know. And then on top of that, it's my body in front of 10 people. I was nervous. But suffice to say, I'm happy they pushed on it. I'm happy my teammates were very open to the option because it was a blast. It was definitely one of the more hype games. And it's funny, my teammates telling me afterwards, they actually had a blast hearing the comms through me because everyone's screaming on my end and they can hear it through my comms. And they were like, wow, it was just like energizing to hear it. So always recommend, if you are able to, putting the cast on in the back, and if you have crazy speakers, do a surround sound system where you're in the middle so you can feel the casters talking about you live. I'm just kidding. If that's too nerve-wracking, then I get it.
Yeah, no, I've talked for some people like whenever they play any like VRML game or any game in general where it's they feel more nervous when they know that they're being casted. It's the same game. It's say if it's the same team even. It you feel so nerve-wracking because you're being watched. I guess because like maybe you'll be more penalized for mistakes you might make, but I don't think so. But I mean, people do feel more nervous whenever it's casted, when they know that they are casted and being watched and being like talked about.
I found that interesting. I think maybe because I've been casted a couple times and I've done casting at this point, all of my nerves have been kind of cut off. But also, I think it kind of comes with Echo. Like a lot of people are still can sometimes, I guess, pensive or scared about their own ability. And I've seen some amazing players still be kind of scared about casting, which is so interesting. I'm like, really? You're nervous about casting? I'm kind of shocked. So it's kind of funny to hear people that are nervous about casting. Again, to your point, like they can feel more penalized for the mistakes because they are being analyzed live, right? And if you hear like, oh wow, like Martini totally beat that pass live, it's not gonna be fun to hear, right? You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's energizing when you have a crazy play and you can see it forming, and the stuff kind of going on, and you hear the reactions to maybe this crazy goal you take. I feel like it's more energizing, and I feel like the benefit you get from a more energized energized just gameplay or energized feeling adds a lot more benefit than kind of the nervousness you might feel. And honestly, the more you do it, the less nervous you get about it. You know, you keep doing it, it becomes almost normal. You're like, yeah, I've been casted 10,000 times. This is nothing. I made some crazy plays live, right, in front of people, and got some crazy stuff. And I think it's better. I also always prefer it because you can also analyze it a lot better later too. So now you have these casters maybe chiming in with their own opinion, and you can see, you know, different um, field of vision and just different view of the arena
Yeah.
when you're playing it versus when you were doing it live. And then you see like, wow, like, hey, you know, I thought only this, and this person was available, but like, there's a lot more open options for passing that I should have been more open to when I was playing earlier. So that's why I've always preferred it. It's way better for review, I think, and it feels amazing when you have some really cool plays. You know.
Very beautiful. Whenever like casters are able to give their own opinion, like you're able to see, like you're able to you know record yourself with your own spark and your own camera, and but having that opinion and point of view of someone else is kind of like opens your mind and kind of opens your eyes to certain things like maybe you didn't even look at or you never even thought about, and then you're able to add that to your playstyle. You're able to add that to your team, and that's I think very beautiful that whenever you're being casted. So yeah, to whoever's out there, if you have the opportunity to be casted, um, take it. It's very helpful. It's very fun, and it's awesome to see what can happen from it.
Definitely, I like it a lot more. Always fun, and I remember my first cast. I was nervous. I forgot it was Luke or who was on it. But I was just so nervous. I asked my friend. I think one of the casters, I think in the Tyro community, so probably was Luke. Hit up one of our teammates like, "Oh, are y'all open to us being casted?" And at the time, I was very nervous, but now, you know, it's funny when I have a Rumble game. Like, I always ask the team, like, "Can we cast? Can we cast? Can we cast?" I almost like prefer being casted.
Like a little
Because then
kid.
it's just
Can we?
yeah,
Can we? Can we?
yeah. So I know Rajan and Nolan know I definitely asked them a variety of times. I'm like, can we cast? Can we cast? And I'm not gonna push it, right? They manage the team. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna like make a ticket and make something out without them deciding it's okay. You know, because I
for
get it.
sure.
Not everyone's open to casting. And I'm more focused on my team being comfortable with something than like me wanting to do something just because I want to, right? But yeah, no, casting's fun. Always doing casting and being casted. I love both. Wow, beautiful save by who is that? Ghost of Skywalker. Preventing a dunk, I believe from what's that? Yo, Romeo did not quite see the name, but very impressive. Some of the goalie gameplay I'm seeing in this game right now is really impressive, right? I think maybe with the teams having the perma goalie, maybe the goalies, I would argue honestly, their skill tier feels a lot better. Am I tripping? Because now they can focus solely on goalieing. Because I've said it before to some of the goalies I've worked with in some of the teams. Like, you know, you can play more conservative now because you don't need to always be diving out because you have the other defender being able to play man on, right? So they can focus on pure goalieing, I would say, right? Because now they also don't have to be attacking. They don't have to be doing a lot of I would say team support that they used to in the 4v4 meta. So it's kind of cool. I feel like honestly the goalies are better in this format. Am I tripping? I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. But I do think the goalies are actually better in this meta than they are in some of the 4v4 teams I've seen played, right? So really cool to see.
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing out of it is whenever like goalies being back, they're able to observe the play happening from farther away, so that way they're able to read it and able to like kind of adjust themselves and position themselves to being able to see what's coming, see where the people are at, and then being able to work up from there.
Definitely. And it looks like that does close it out for West Coast Wired and Race. Looks like West Coast Wired did win this one with a 14 to 10 against Race, and it was a 4-point difference, but dang, it was a close game the whole game. I believe it was almost neck and neck balance the whole game up until the last half round, I would say. I'm not quite sure. But that was a pretty good game. I was kind of shocked how close it was because I've seen close games in this Rec League, but wow, this is definitely one of the closest games considering even up until the very end it was at the most a 4-point difference. Pretty wild, pretty impressive. So definitely kudos to the two different teams. And it looks like we are going out for a promo, so we'll be seeing you all in a quick minute. Yes, yes, yes. Hopefully y'all enjoyed those promos. We are back here. How are you feeling today, Deadline? You feeling good? How you feeling about this game? We just finished up with a pretty close game. Um right now, yeah.
I feel pretty good. It was a really close game. It was like neck and neck, and then at the last stretch, blue team was able to get a decent amount of gap to get the
Mhm.
lead. But let's see what if we can see the same thing, or maybe it could be different. We'll see what this next team has. Next two teams have.
Yeah, I believe this is the PGV staff Superstars versus Misfit Toys, if I saw that correctly.
I
So this will
believe
definitely be
so.
fun. I remember the first couple times I I saw the name PGV staff Superstars, and I'm like, oh, is that like a team or like from my understanding it's the PGV staff and they formed together. So I was like, okay, my assumptions were correct. So it's funny to see.
Yeah, I was like,
Um,
is it full of subs or was it like is it an official team?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe we do have a full sub team now. Like that's just like kind of pick up. I would say pickup team. You could
Yeah,
say.
we do. We had one team that ended up dropping from the league, and so we just kind of have filled that spot with just like league subs because we have a lot of people subbing. So that gives everybody a double chance to play. And there's a lot of people who are dying to sub, so I think it gives them a good option.
Yes, I remember when I first picked up the sub role, I went pretty hard the first week or second week, because I just had nothing to do, and I don't know, I love playing Echo, and especially, I don't know, like I've really enjoyed in this format. Because don't get me wrong, I love a good solid 5v5, but the traditional, I would say quote unquote traditional, as if that's a thing normally, but the 5v5 that people normally play, just people hopping into a match, because they just have an extra, teammate or two, so we have like the 10-person gameplay kind of going on. But this is a proper 5v5 where you have like rule setup and how you should play. And it's really, I find it more interesting than honestly the 4v4. There's a lot more strategy, I think, required in playing this sort of game style. And it's so upsetting to me that, Echo's definitely being sunsetted, because now that we're doing cool stuff like this, where there's a league trying out this 5v5 format, we can see what it looks like in a more, even though it's casual, but we can see it in what it looks like in a more competitive environment and what it really means to play 5v5 with rules set up that, the game doesn't necessarily limit those rules, because obviously the goalie can technically always come out, but it'd be cool. It's cool to see what's a potential what if moment, right? What if Echo had a style of gameplay where you had the 5v5 and one person had to be a goalie. It's great to see that what if and seeing how it kind of plays out. Because I've seen some crazy gameplay styles from some of these teams that I never expected, because I had never played 5v5 and I never really, I guess, ruminated on what it would look like to play this style of gameplay. I know people have always thrown the idea around. It's been chewed on. It's been mentioned a couple times, but obviously never implemented. And to several different points I've heard people make before. People being weird about a potential 5v5 meta and being like, "Oh, that's weird." Well, it's only weird because we're used to 4v4. Back in the day, Echo was 3v3. If you had told people back then, I'm sure people back then were like, "Oh, they might switch to 4v4." People were like, "That's weird," So I don't think it's weird actually. The more I've seen this gameplay style play out, the more I'm like, you know what? I actually prefer 5v5 competitive play. I think it's very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, it really definitely makes you force and think, a little differently than what typically used to. Like you said that play more 4-on-4, but play a little bit more 5-5. And looks like both teams are getting ready. And we're gonna start this match. So we got the what PVG staff versus the Wraiths, or no, the Misfits. Let's see who's gonna get to the disc first. Looks like we got blue team going for the disc, throwing it upwards. Orange right on their heels, being able to toss it to the side so that way the blue team ain't able to get possession. Let's see, we got orange team throwing it across the field. Notice they didn't clear it down the field. But still possession by blue team. Going for a shot by Naticus, but unable to get to the goal. But gets it right back to Huge. But orange is able to intercept it and toss it right back out. With Jim now in possession, moving it up to the blue side. Tossing it downwards, seeing that he has a stack looking behind him. Make sure he doesn't get it stolen by blue stack, tosses it right down, goes right back to possession by Jim. Tries to go for a shot, what it looks like, but gets bounced off by Shield. And not tossed to the side by Huge. And then Natic is having possession and going right back to the orange side, trying to look for a nice quick pass. Finds it beautifully by Chet. Chet going for a long shot by goalie. Right there, JJ able to save it. And toss it right back with orange possession.
Wow, this is definitely going back and forth. It looks like my timer clock's it's about 2 minutes out. The teams still have not scored. Definitely a lot of back and forth between Misfit and PGV staff, and it looks like it's going on pretty hard in the wild. Panda somehow getting it off of. It looks like Nauticus or Chet's head was very unfortunate for them. Looks like Precise moving it up for the arena did not quite connect with Jim Jum, and I can see that they had the communication. It almost worked out. But some really good gameplay right now by the defenders being able to keep it back. And it looks like it's flying back and forth anyways. And wow, that was really close. The goalie almost had it, but did get stunned out last minute. And unfortunately, Time Lord did get scored on by Nagini for 2 points for PGV staff. And wow, that was electrifying for the end of that 2 minute goal scoring time, I guess you would say.
Yeah, you can see the disc going back and forth, but when points gets delivered, it gets delivered hard. Uh, looks like blue team kind of missed the disc with giving Panda
I am not
three
quite
points.
sure what happened there. And you know what's so funny? I feel like in this meta that happens less often because you have another person potentially to be able to save you, and usually they obviously stay back with the perma goalie setup. So I'm shocked of what happened there from Misfit Toys, but that was unfortunate for them. It
See,
looks like
double
Misfit
pick.
Toys is coming out. Looks like they try to go for this back and forth dribble play. They do get their stacks done now, so not quite working out for them. Looks like they're going for the cross play. Looks like Jim Jim's got his hand on the disc. Goes for a quick shot off of boot. I can't talk right now. Puts 2 points on the board for PGV staff, and they are off to a hot start right now. They're already 7 points up. They already have to put a person out. Crazy. How do you think about the game so far? Deadline.
In favor of Orange team looks like, but let's see if by the 7 points having to take someone out, let's see if they can keep the same momentum, or are they is blue team gonna start scoring now? That is the real question. Let's see what's
Yeah.
going on. Let's see if Orange team have Panda clearing it down, but it looks like it's be in the possession of Naticus. Naticus taking his time, trying to find a good pass, finds it in the midfield to Luna. Luna moving it up. JJ closely behind. Luna has to toss it down in the bubble loosely, but Orange is able to pick it up, toss it to the side. Luna almost picking it up. It's a race with against Panda and Luna, but Panda is able to get possession of it, clears it down. Right into the hands of the goalie, though. Time Lord with possession, taking his time, finding a sweet pass, finds it to Luna, but barely misses it on the side as Luna moves up to the bow tie. And it's a struggle bus getting that disc down, but Time Lord's able to get it and tosses it down to the orange side with a blue stack right behind it, with Naticus grabbing possession, going for a long shot, but dings off the goal. Oh my god, I hate to hear that. Taking a long shot. Have you ever felt that, Martini? When you
Oh,
take like a
definitely.
long
That
hit?
one was hard because the goalie's a little bit in the way. You got to go for a weird pocket three. And a really good attempt by Nauticus. I would have done the same thing. But it does not quite work out for them. And I don't know if you saw earlier, that was one of those bounces that I say was very favorable because I've noticed a lot of people have been bouncing off of Valley. Not sure if it's intentional, but it actually ends up working out for them because it kind of bounces off of Valley in a weird way, and it actually bounces more towards, I would say, one of the wedges, giving the opposing team a really good angle to be able to score or be able to receive the disc without it going into the goalie's hands, right? So it's kind of funny playing this game and seeing like what's you would say is a quote unquote good clear. Because now you have the goalie in the back to worry about. So I don't know. It's interesting to see there's like meta bouncing spots for people to clear onto because people still want to clear, obviously, right? It's more about where do you clear now or who do you clear to or what area, right?
For sure. Like bounce is like in this game it really forces you to think of like new kind of outside the box, like where can I bounce it so it keeps it in the center, so it doesn't go all the way too deep to the goalie where just barely out of his reach, but just enough out so that way the enemy team doesn't get possession of the disc. And it makes you really think where exactly those bounces are, and like you said, creates like a new meta, kind of like a new way of thinking and playing the game.
Exactly. I know when I first started finally, incorporating bounce shots, bounce passes, it definitely elevated gameplay because now if it forces, the enemy team and even the goalie to kind of think about, oh, now this person can utilize different angles than they could previously. Now that makes them more dangerous, right? If I can do cool, really good bounce passes or really good bounce shots. I know one of my teammates loves utilizing bounces in very, I would say, unconventional ways at times, like Knight. Because there have been times where like like warming up, and he does a really weird bounce off of a Geo, and sometimes I have to think like, was that a missed like he missed a pass, or that was an intentional bounce pass that was meant to go to me? And there's definitely be some times where I'm like, I'm so sorry, I thought it was like a missed pass, and he's like, no, that was meant to bounce back to you. And if I just waited there a couple seconds longer, it would have bounced right, into my hand. So it's definitely interesting to see it in this 5v5 format, to see what's meta bounces, you could say call them, or meta clears. So it's funny, like I said, this is not even that competitive of a league, but even now you're already seeing people form differing habits to kind of deal with this different style of gameplay, right?
Yeah,
And this
different
is
ways to
during while
approach.
people playing verbal games. Oh yeah, definitely. Wow, PGV staff is going off really hot today. They are now 2 more points up on the board from Jim. They're now 11-point difference, and they still have to sit down one of their players. And Misfit Toys, they definitely still have time to kind of work this out, kind of see how they can mix up this different style of gameplay, see if they can disrupt some of the PGV staff's momentum, because they are definitely trucking along, as I guess you could say.
So do you think whenever like a team has such a high point value or point gap, and they have such a good momentum going, is it harder to break the momentum, or is it easy to break if you score on them once? What do you think?
I think it's easier to break once you kind of get that quick score. That's why I've noticed. Oh wow, they did not communicate that. They got a little scared and kind of cleared it right there. Sorry. But I think when you're feeling so hot and you get that quick score on your team, it kind of like throws you for a whirl. I don't know about you, but it does me sometimes, and it makes me like kind of question, like, oh crap, like I thought we had good momentum, like what happened? I think that getting just that first goal kind of disrupts things for a bit, because it's like, hey, you were doing good, but now we got this. You can't just keep beating us down. So I don't know, but I get it. It's hard to disrupt that momentum sometimes. Like maybe your team needs to slow it down more. Maybe they need to speed it up, really depending on what the tempo of the game is feeling like. Because I feel like sometimes when the pressure feels high, your team isn't quite sure what to do. And sometimes slowing it down does. Wow,
Well,
beautiful three from Jim. It looks like the goalie was just slightly out of that, and 3 points on the board for PGV staff. And wow, they are really leading right now with a 16-point difference. I don't know how do you feel about this game so far, Deadline?
well, it seems to be again still in the favor of Orange team. With wow, what a beautiful long shot by JJ, right on the left pocket too, just out of the reach of the goalie. With blue team having a little bit of, if they're able to pass it to get, never mind. They made a shot.
Well,
Never
there
mind.
you go. There's
I'm
a
gonna show them.
disruption that we
There's
were
a
just
disruption.
talking about.
There it
But we'll
is.
see. I don't know. Do you think this is big enough? Because that is a pretty sizable lead. Do you think it's enough to disrupt the momentum? Granted, this is
Well,
round, I
granted,
think, one, right?
yeah, round one, and as points carry over. So this might be the momentum carried for blue team to start closing that gap. Plenty of time if they start scoring a lot here on first one. Think of it as more of a warm up for them, and then let's see if they can do more disruptive power on round two. But doesn't mean they can't stop scoring in round one. So let's see if they can keep that up. As Time Lord having possession, being able to intercept that disc, tossing it low, a little bit of miscommunication there by the stack, I believe. But still caught up by Naticus, who's trying to find a good pass, but has to clear it down because he's getting pressured. Chet and JJ fighting for the disc. JJ getting the disc inverted, looking behind him, making sure that stack doesn't get to him. Tries to find a pass, maybe a self pass, possibly on purpose. But either way, Precise getting a nice reset by Panda. Panda finding Precise again on the ceiling, try to find JJ, but JJ's kind of covered by the nest. But passes it back to Precise, making a shot and 2 points for Orange.
Wow, it looks like they're definitely doing really good. Precise and Jim right now are doing an amazing job up in the attacking half of the arena, going back and forth, really delivering some beautiful passing options and really opening up their gameplay. Kind of nice to see. Really good to see. Even with a person down, they're doing an amazing job at keeping it hot. I would say on the attacking part, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Uh, one thing I was gonna say, when you think of a team with comms, since it is open so much, I'm seeing a little bit of miscommunication here or there, maybe like not said early or said a little late. Um, what do you think on a team on a open comms? Should you be talking a lot, or should you be informing a lot, or should you be keeping it low on the floor and hope that your team is able to see you or is able to detect what's going on?
You know what's so interesting? I think maybe because in a lot of the Tyro events, they are open comms by default. I'm so used to playing open comms, and I've noticed even with all these competitive players, and even though I always say it gives you perfect vision in the sense of everyone knows what's going on now that you can hear the enemy comms. Because there's so much going on in the chaos, I think it's always more important that your teammate knows what's going on, even if it sacrifices the enemy team knowing what's going on. Because there's a lot of times where you might see, like we saw earlier, wow, looks like the goalie was somehow able to keep that disc out, and not get a scored on from the three. So beautiful gameplay from Dona. A little risky, I would say, from Dona, but it did work out for them still. Um, and then, yeah, honestly, I actually always prefer giving better comms no matter what, open, closed comms, whatever. I prefer it because I've noticed more times than not when I was more quiet, unless me and the other person have really good chemistry where they can see what I'm doing and read what I'm trying to do. If they don't see that, I'm better off calling it out because there are a lot of times where somebody missed something or didn't see me because I didn't make a call out for where my position was, right? And I think that's more detrimental to the team than it is, for me to be scared that the enemy might hear me, because that's the thing. That's always the potential. They might hear you, and if they
For sure.
do, oh dang. But also your teammate knows you're there. But what happens in those scenarios where the enemy team can't cover you, and your teammate doesn't know where you're at. That's more detrimental because now you can't score, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm always on a sense of provide more comms than not because I've seen it. I've seen good comms in any scenario is always more useful regardless of team comms or closed comms, or sorry, open comms or team comms, right? Um, yeah.
So with
What about you? What do you
orange,
think?
well, with me, it's like being able to communicate, like you said, is good. But whenever you want to give information, you're looking at your team, and as you're playing with them, especially if you're not familiar with them too much, you want to see what kind of chemistry do you have. Where does this person position himself more often than not? Because sometimes some people have their go-to places that I've noticed.
Oh yeah,
uh,
definitely.
yeah, and then from there you just determine like when is the right time to approach like in with communication. Where can I get vital like information? Sometimes you can give information so that everybody gets like alerted. Like let's say I'm going for a right bottom boot pass, and I don't want to alert them like uh, the enemy team of where I'm passing it to, but I want that person to be alerted. Hey, I'm gonna pass it to you. So I would communicate, hey, heads up, I'm about to pass to you, or hey, heads up, this shot's about to happen. Hey, I'm looking at you. You know, it's not kind of like communicating, but indirectly. So that way they're on their toes and they're paying attention to what's going on. Like, hey, a pass is about to happen.
Good point. You could be a little bit more vague, I guess you could
Vague,
say,
yeah,
about some of the comms you're making. And honestly, funny thing that you mentioned that I think sometimes open comms helps too, because if I'm I like playing a little more attacking sometimes. So some of the comms I make are for like position plays where I'm open. I've noticed sometimes because with open comms, not everyone will say, "Oh, I'm gonna cover." That person, if someone makes a call out, like say I'm on nest or I'm on clock, and someone hears that, you might have a situation where two of the defenders actually come for you, and that actually leaves your teammate open because you made the open comm, which is funny enough. And that's what I'm saying. I think there's more situations where an open comm is actually beneficial to the team, regardless. Sorry, like better comms are beneficial regardless if it's open or closed comms, right? Because I've actually seen that several times where I'm making a call play, and I'm like, yeah, I'm over here. Two people push me, or even three on accident, and then now more of my teammates are open. And if my teammate, is good at reading the play and kind of being able to adjust what's going on, they'll see like, wow, he's covered, but I now have another open position that I'd rather play off of, right? Um, so another situation that was made better because of better comms, right?
so it's like a comms could be in an open comm scenario. It can be like a double-edged sword. You know, it can be really helpful, but also could be really detrimental to depending what situation you
It's
are.
funny, yeah, you can if you think about it, if you play in a more competitive environment, you can use your open comms to your advantage. You can make bad calls, you can make pretend calls,
Yeah.
right? Or if your team gets really crazy about it, you can make some really cool code name calls, right? Like, oh, I'm on hot dog, and someone's like, what the heck is that, right? It's like I'm on hot dog, but they mean they're on nest, right? So teams can get very creative, That's why, like, I would argue it's more competitive. It requires a different level of gameplay than you're allowed, and that's one of the unique scenarios that you get, I think, in Echo compared to other esports, where I think a lot of other esports there's not really an open comms, option. It's always closed comms because I remember games like Call of Duty where if you have open comms, it doesn't really work out because you don't hear the enemy team. There's not proximity comms. There's just so many different things that open comms in this game provides that is so different than other levels of sports gameplay or competitive gameplay, right? And beautiful gameplay, wow, by PGV staff being able to pull the defenders out, and Donut Pyro was really open for that shot. I don't know, I'm not quite sure. But how do you feel? Like I know I keep really hounding down that I think open comms honestly feels more competitive, because of the different level of
Yeah.
strategy required. But I don't know, I think it's definitely interesting to see it play out.
No, I 100% agree with you. Like it can be 5v5 on open comms can be very, very, very strategic, can be very vital to actually improving yourself a little bit more, because you know how we said before, like when we want kind of like people don't like too much open comms, they prefer closed comms because they want to be strategic. That doesn't mean 5v5 open comms can be, or open comms in general can be not strategic. It can be very, if not more. And it's just like that sudden change of mindset, like, any other sport. That's what I like about Echo, is that it feels so much. There's so many things that you can connect to that would be in any general, uh, game that you would consider a sport that will fall under that word. And one thing that I see a lot is the mindset that, games like this, like having such a big open, gap like 20 to 4. How do you think a mindset would affect you? And has it affected you at all? Like, you think your mindset has changed, or by a determining a factor like a score, or like something, you got
I
intercepted,
feel
a
like,
shot?
yeah, I've gotten better, I think, over time of dealing with the score and still being able to kind of eke out, I guess, gameplay. But I'm not gonna lie and say like psychology isn't a big part of this, especially with the game that I would say it's already a big thing in normal esports where like I'm playing COD or something like a first person shooter, where psychology affects you, which is funny. You don't think it's that quote unquote big of a deal because you're only using your hands and stuff. But I think it still affects you no matter how much movement there's in game. Like imagine chess, you're having a bad day, it's gonna affect you, right? You're not gonna suddenly like be able to fight through the psychology. There's psychology in any level of sport and any kind of gameplay where it's you versus another player, right? No matter what, at the end of the day, two people are of equal skill level, and one of them is feeling better about their day. That person's most likely going to be playing better, and that works out. And I feel like that makes it even worse when you have like these more physical games because now it's not just your mental you're fighting against, but also like your body being able to keep up with whatever's going on in your head, right? Because there's definitely been times where like you're thinking a certain thing or you want to do a certain thing and your body doesn't do it for whatever reason. Maybe you're like slower that day because maybe you're just like really tired. It just makes it that much more difficult to deal with the psychology behind everything, right? Um, and that's why we always talk about disrupting momentum because that's kind of part of it. That momentum is in the psychology, trying to mess you up, and make things kind of go harder. And it looks like PGB Staff's really going for a lot of passing back and forth. Does not quite work out in their favor, and it does get intercepted by the Misfit toys. And unfortunately, the stack did miss that. They were right there, ready to get I think open three if they potentially were able to get their hands on that. It looks like they are moving it up the arena. But yeah, it's hard, dealing with the psychology of the game, and any, competitive game, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure you have way better experience with this. How did you feel, when you had, I believe you're in the finals, right? Wasn't your team, they were up, but then they were down. How do you feel going to one of those later games where maybe you already got beat by the game, like team? How do you keep yourself like, it's fine, don't get, torn up about it. We can still come back, right?
Well, yeah, one thing that I would say, like that I see happening a little bit more during whenever I'm in like a little bit more of a competitive play, where it's not going in our team's favor. And you'd start to notice comms are getting a little quieter, everybody's starting to become a little silent.
Exactly. Yep.
And then from there it just keeps on going down that road, because we're not doing anything to change that. You're not having an effect if you're just keeping it like lower in comms. It's not helping. So you want to be at least one person in the team, be able to motivate your team, being able to talk to your team like, hey, it's fine, we can do this in the next one. Don't think about what happened before. Think about what's happening now and what we can do after. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like self-motivating yourself, but you also want to motivate your team in case they feel down. Maybe they won't show it, but it's always good to be speak out a little bit, to not keep it quiet, not keep it dead.
Exactly. It's always good to like push through and provide comms, no matter the situation. Because I know that happens to me. You know, when my team starts losing, I definitely start to feel the pressure, and the comms aren't as quiet, or maybe they're a lot, drier. I would say. And it's definitely good when you have those teammates making those call outs, like, hey, like y'all, we gotta keep making the comms, kind of keep
Y-
pushing through, and
Just
kind
to
of see what's
jump
going
in
on.
here, I think blue team is hearing you guys because I know the scores carry over, but it was 18-2, and now it's 22-8. So they put up 6 points, and technically they're ahead this second round. And I just wanted to let Chuck know we do have a double display on the stream. I just wanted to check in with you real quick on that. So I'm not sure why it's giving us a double overlay, but I just really excited that blue has put some of those points up. They're doing a great job. So
They're definitely
just
putting
thought
a
I'd
lot more
jump
of
in.
this round. And yeah, as we were talking about momentum, definitely a big decider of things and psychology. So it's interesting to kind of dissect it, right? Because I feel like someone would almost argue like, "Oh, what are you doing, overthinking a game?" And it's no, our psychology really feeds into a lot of things we're doing, and gaming is just one of those things, right?
Yeah, it seems like blue team is actually, picking up and actually finding a way to get through and getting those points up. That's pretty amazing for them to see, for me to see actually, that from blue team. It looks like they're playing a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more faster now that they know that the time is kind of winding down. But it still seems like they're taking their time, as you see Time Lord finding and stopping, taking his time to find a good pass, and finds one with Chet on bottom left floor, making it up, and finds tries to get another pass in the cross to huge, but is unsuccessful, and it goes all the way down. A fight for it with JJ and Naticus. Let's see who gets possession. Naticus is fine, gets it and gets a nice pass over to huge. Huge trying to find another pass on clock, finds it, gets it to Chet, and Chet puts it in for 2 points for blue.
Wow, beautiful bounce pass right off of the top edges right there, from Huge all the way to Chet. And really good on Chet for being able to kind of maintain and hold his position until he receives that disc. Because I definitely know some people, and it's happened to me before, where again, you think it's a mistake pass and you dive for it, not knowing it's actually bounced right to you. You know.
Because you get kind of like, the what you call it, the you're wanting to keep the play moving and faster, and you feel like it's going kind of in slow motion. It's like, we need to pick it up, we need to pick it up, we need to pick it up. But there's a certain point where you want to go fast, but you don't want to go too fast, where it starts not making any sense, where the play
Exactly. Or
starts
you're
becoming
making,
a little
yeah.
bit kind of discombobulated a little bit.
Exactly. Or you're making like bad plays because you're just too worried about speed and you're not really thinking anymore. And I know that definitely happens when you're playing down. You're trying to keep it going, and it's definitely hard because you're like, I don't want to make mistakes. I know we got to be doing something. And especially because I've had times where it feels like we're actually messing up because we're not applying enough pressure. Sometimes you feel like you are start to almost over apply pressure, right? And now you're making bad mistakes because you're forcing things to happen versus making things happen because it makes sense to do it, right?
Yeah, it's like one thing to be really fast, but it's another thing to be really, precise with
Mhm.
the things that you do. And that's a beautiful shot by Chet.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that by you. It was actually a little quick turnaround pass right into a cut. So really good. Honestly, so I think this is the second really good gameplay from Huge, doing some really good assists to Chet right now. I don't know what's going on right there, but they have some really good attacking chemistry right now, and it is working out. Unfortunately, it is in the later parts of their game, but it's always good to mess up the momentum kind of towards any time right now. And it looks like Huge went straight in, attack Panda to get that 3 points on the board for Misfit to close up this lead. And I believe that should be it for the game, right?
Looks like it. And don't forget, if you are watching now and you have not yet followed, please follow us. We're trying to get to 50 followers, and then if we get enough stream content this month, we can do channel points, bets, things like that. And we've got some fun things planned. So yeah,
Yes, yes,
stay
yes.
tuned.
Please join us. Please help us get these cool features. I know I'm not sure if Mary's on the cast right now, but I know Mary loves those bets.
I love
And
him
I'm
too.
yeah, and I'm jealous of Mary. Apparently, she has 100% betting rate right now. Like she has a perfect
Nice.
score,
Okay.
and I'm like,
Okay.
no way,
I
no
definitely
way.
don't.
Oh, well, me neither. And and I've seen
Okay,
a lot of
and
these
here we
games.
go for a promo.
Petunia's Gaming Village is a fun place for gamers to come hang out and play video games with current or soon to be friends. One of the things that makes us a bit unique is our hybrid approach to gaming. We try to set up multiple events throughout the week for various games on PC, console, and VR platforms. One of our staple events is Saturday Night Spirits for Echo VR, followed up by a rotating game that everyone votes on ahead of time. Lately, we've been getting anywhere from 20 to 30 players signed up for this event, and it is a lot of fun. Oftentimes, we're just hanging out on Discord voice chats. I'll hop onto a voice chat in the afternoon while playing a video game, and one by one, the group continues to grow. We have some playing games, some working, others driving home, and on occasion, one or two are doing homework. In a nutshell, PGV is a place where we want you to feel comfortable and have a good time. If you're not currently a member, we'd love to have you come check us out.
I was getting to him, I promise.
Sounds good. Looks like we just finished with the promo. We have another another game coming up. It's going to be Sevens versus Tyro NA. Let me double check that if anyone can correct me on that. But
That sounds right because we've still got Jim in there. He switched to the other side, so we just need to get Jose Elcatrin over to blue. We have the double overlay again. Somebody touched a button. Poor Chuck. Okay. Yeah, we're getting everybody in still. We've got 7 S's. I don't know that entire name, but they are sensational and stunning and all kinds of things.
oh,
Um,
that's what that's for. Okay, okay. I don't know. I didn't know
yes.
what to think. What it was. I was just like, wonder what that
I
is.
can look it up. I think let me pull it up on my side. And we're waiting for Nagini to get in the booth. I am just subbing for a little bit while we wait for Nagini. And I have a cat in my lap who keeps trying. He wants attention because I've been gone all weekend. So he is just being a snuggly bunny. I gotta get this full name. It's very important. Let's find out. We've got the. Oh, it's not on there. It's not on the signups. I don't know where we got it, Chuck. Do you know?
Yeah,
From
we're
the Rec League
casting.
teams. It's the 7. Oh, you're here. Nagini's here.
No.
The 7, the sensational 7 savvy scoring, stunning, saving specialists. That
Oh
is
my
what the
god.
7 S's are.
Wow, that is definitely a mouthful. I cannot believe. I wonder if
Guys, can you
anyone
hear
like
me?
has memorized that.
We can hear you. Yes, you're a little quiet, but we can also hear your future. I think in the background there. So, just so he's aware.
Yes, yes, yes,
Can you-
yes.
Yes. Can you hear us, Nagini? Sounds like we had her for a second. We'll get her right back. Donut Pirate just asked, how many channel points do I need to bring back the double overlay? And I said all of them. So we'll
That should
get
be an
that going.
option. Double overlay or just some random stuff on the UI just to mess with
Oh,
people.
we are working on some ideas for channel points. So if
Okay,
you have
okay.
any silly ideas, feel free. You can DM me. We may not use all of them. I won't promise anything. But if you have a silly idea for channel points, just let me know. Once we hit that 50, we can, at a certain amount of streaming, we can get those channel points going and have some fun with it.
Mhm.
So
So also, I believe for this league, people are able to be in multiple teams. Is that correct? I feel like I've seen people across different teams, or
so
is that
people
just
are,
because?
that's
Yeah.
because they're subbing. So people can
Ah,
sub. Um, Technically, you should only be on one. We did have Scooter who was worried he was on two, and I think that's just he's on the league sub team and a regular team, and you can be on both. You don't have to be on only one or the other. So if you're a league sub and you're on a team, that's fine. We just want to make sure that it's a 5v5 meta. That's important to us, so we want to make sure everybody has a chance to play 5v5. Because like we've had it a couple times with my team, our team, because we're on the same team for this league,
yeah.
where like you drop someone or someone had to come late and you're playing 4v4 for a minute and it's just not quite the same as the 5v5 meta. So
Definitely. It
yeah.
is nice to have those people there and those subs being ready because I know sometimes, when it's like league day, I definitely do hop into league subs chat just to kind of keep my eye on it sometimes when I'm available.
Yes.
So I do feel like the league subs are pretty good. People like answering and responding and like hopping in.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of really active subs who are having a good time. So um yeah. And I'm excited when we get back like to when we're able to bet on these games. I love our little fish in the corner. I like to watch, like we were commenting when Hawk first showed us this, like with the little fish in the bottom. Like it's kind of fun because it looks like a hockey game, like
Oh
with
my
the
god, I just
team's
saw
logo on
that.
the ice. Like
Yo, that's actually awesome. I've never seen that. How did y'all do that?
I don't
To have it
know.
work with the compact
It
now. That's
is
crazy.
magic from BT Blackhawk. And we've actually got Chuck on cams tonight, but Hawk has done an excellent job helping us out with that and helping us figure out some of this stuff. So thank you to him. So, and I may do cams later this week. I've got to study up a bit. And on Tuesday, we'll be doing Spooky Tuesday. We'll be playing Phasmophobia. We've got 4 signed up already, but if you were like, I really want to play.
It's because
Oh, hi, Nagini.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm on it on my phone.
Yep, we can hear you. Okay.
Interesting.
We are just waiting for her to get the booth with us. So,
Donut Pirates happy. Double
doing
double
our
overlay
best.
is bad. Oh, is back. Is back. That's so funny. He's really excited. Donut, I'm hoping. Are we? They can hear us, right? We're talking right now. I'm hoping you're
You're good.
enjoying that. Go crazy. Please send some love.
And
Can we get a
Rajan just
triple?
said in our general chat, hey, like if you want to play some Echo after this Rec League, they've got a. Each week we've had somebody put up a post Rec League fun game. So if you want to keep the good times going, it looks like we have 15 signed up so far. So to get 2 lobbies going, they're going to need 5 more. So go join them.
I might need to join. I might need to join
And
that.
blame
We'll
Chuck
see.
if you can't play.
All right, looks like 7 S's and Tyro NA are readying up, so we'll see how this comes out. Nagini, we'll be waiting for you to come out. Otherwise, I have Tasha here for the backup.
Yeah.
And yeah, we
Are
have
you?
the. Oh, okay. Looks like they
Let's see if she
already.
can. Yeah.
Oh, what is going on? Wow, we do not allow pauses. Going on. So I'm wondering. Oh, rematch. Maybe the rules. Oh, it's a 3 round. They did not set the rules. Um, I forgot we can do that in Spark. Maybe I should have said the rules. It's fine.
Yeah. Somebody may have touched it and messed it up because if you start going for it, that's okay though. Yeah, we need to. That's something we need to make sure. If you are in there, don't worry about setting the rules. The casters will set the rules. The cams person usually will set the rules, so you don't need to set that for them. So it looks like they're just gonna get that set up real quick, and then we'll get rolling.
Yeah, Cam's normally sets it. We don't have to. Okay, sounds good. Cool, 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 cool. Looks like we are. The rules look pretty set to me. So we'll see when they're ready. Sounds good. They are readying up. I don't know how to ready up yet on Spark, and I don't think I'll figure that out, but it's fine. I'm not worried about it. Um, so yeah, looks like the team's all readying back up, and it looks like the Guinea is dealing with some audio. You know, I get it. Honestly, Discord, for some reason, Discord always throws my audio settings off, and I have to like be all weird, for, like the inputs and outputs, for everything to be perfect. And I don't know why. For some reason, it throws me off, but it is what it is. You know, it is a necessary evil, I guess you could say.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, I am not that thirsty today. Thank goodness that deadline did remind me to get water, and I do have my water today, so it's great. But I will probably need to eat dinner after this, and I don't. I'm still deciding. I have salmon. I might be cooking salmon. We'll see what I'm feeling like
I
doing.
had pizza earlier.
Pizza.
Here we go. Yeah.
I did have
Let's
pizza,
go.
but I'm not quite sure. All right, looks like they are coming out of the tunnels, and let's see which team is able to pick it up first. We both have teams coming out. Looks like 7S is able to get the headbutt off. Does get picked up by the back stack on Tyro and A as they were waiting patiently for that to move up. And wow, this stack is hot, moving really quick. Obsidian and Carl are doing amazing gameplay right now together. Palador is trying to move up, push some pressure on them, and we're seeing them kind of looking around, looking for some open options. Carl's able to get that crossover. The boot. Boot does get stunned out from Jim. Unfortunately, does get that pass all the way through to the other side. Is that in the goalie's hands? No, it is picked up by the stack. Wow, Carl and Obsidian are hot right now. They're going crazy back and forth. Looks like Blend's back there for the pickup, looking around for some passing options. Does get the juke off, gets the cross pass, but it does not connect to Panda's hands. Quiet. She does get the clear in. It does fly right into Palador's hands, but he does get picked up, and he does get sent out, unfortunately, at the same time. And it looks like they are slowly moving it up the arena with Luke flying in with the speed. Does he have it? And no, he is. Wow, they're going back and forth right now. It looks like no one can really decide who owns the disc, and I like that. How you feeling today, Tasha?
Sorry. I just got
You're good. Should I keep going? You're good. I wasn't sure if you
do it.
wanted to go back and forth. I got
Yeah.
this. One beautiful three from Dast, all the way 24 meters out for 7S's. And that's a really good start. You know, it's about a minute for their first goal, but 7S's does come out with a three.
And I can jump in now. Sorry, I was so used to you guys casting in the background.
You're
as I
good.
was
I
doing
wasn't sure if
stuff.
you're hopping
Well, I was
in
just
or
sitting
like
here
just,
listening.
yeah.
And here we go. Oh, Panda. No, Dasamon's gonna get that. Tries to take the shot, misses it, but able to pick it up again. Tries to take the shot again. It is still not quite there. Pally gonna pick it up, sends it over to Panda Cup, and she's gonna put it in for 3 points.
7S's is coming in hot. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what they were just eating or serving out, but they're definitely doing well right now.
Oh, hydrate.
Can we do those yet? How are?
I guess we can.
I see. Redeemed a hydrate.
It works for me.
I like it.
It's on credit. Eventually, Trees is always taking
It's
care
on
of
an
us.
IOU.
Making
Yeah,
sure we're
yeah.
doing a little bit of self-care there. Jim sends it down, but it hits Double D. He picks it up again, slaps it because he thinks someone's coming in on him, but it happens to be his teammate. Looking to pick that up again, but Das is able to get it. Dasa sending it down to Panda Cub. Panda Cub sending it through to the other side. Cool Whip's backing up to goal, which probably was the right call there because Pally picked it up and shot. We've got Dasta with it. Dasta trying to get it over to his teammate, but it ends up going into the hands of Carl Ove. Carl juking a little bit, sending it through. You can tell that these teams remember, like they can tell that just wild clearing is going to send it right into the hands of goalie. So they are not wild clearing it. Tyrone A trying to work it forward. Jim picks it up. Jim sending it back to Obsidian, but it doesn't connect. And let's take a look. I could tell earlier while you guys were casting that you were like doing the thing where sometimes you try to predict it and you get nervous because you're like, oh crap, they are going to return that. That's going to go right back to where it was. And
Yeah,
here we
I
go.
know.
Carl's got it. Yeah. I know. I've learned in this meta, like it's so hard to predict compared to the 4v4.
Definitely.
So,
I try to just wait a little bit longer and then say something because I've noticed I end up doing this really bad ping ponging back and forth.
yes.
Yeah, and it gets a little wordy, I would say, with me chewing on my words and not in a fun way.
And it looks like Pally may have gone for the boop shot there. It's a little off. So We're going to have Carl O pick it up. Carl bouncing it out into tunnel, but it bounces over to Palador. Palador sending it high into the bubble to Panda. Panda trying to take that shot, but it's bouncing out over to Dasaman. Dasaman sending it back to Panda, and then with they add 2 more points to the board.
And it looks like they are up 7 points. They should be sitting down one of their players. We'll see if this does give Tyrell NA that momentum switch up. And I know it was funny. I think we were talking about momentum earlier on this stream, and I think introducing that 7 point limit for the 5v5 setup does introduce the fact that if you do too well, you actually open yourself to being disrupted on your momentum, and maybe not being able to recover from that, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's going high up to Luke. Luke taking that bounce shot, but they're able to stop it. I don't know if that was a head bounce or what there, but they were able to defend it. Bouncing over to Dasaman. Dasaman sending it all the way down. The Cool Whip is chasing that, and Luke will be there as well. Luke sends it out to Obsidian. Obsidian has a stack down there. He gets stunned out, but the stack is there, trying to pick it up before Blue gets there. Blue ready for a brawl, able to get it out there. Bouncing it back down to Cool Whip. Cool sending it through to Jim Jim. Jim Jim has people right on him, so he's trying to get it past them. Dasa taking it the other way. Little bit of disc napping there. Bouncing it out to Obsidian. Obsidian ducking down, trying to juke a little bit there. It is in the bubble, or kind of in the bubble. They clear it out, but Jim Jim's able to pick it up. Sends it over to Obsidian. Obsidian trying to get it there to Luke, but it goes a little bit wide. And we've got hi Nagini. Yeah, we're slapping it out. I just saw Nagini in chat. Nagini, come
Okay,
join
I was
us.
like, wait, I did not hear Nagini.
No, sorry. She's just said 100 in chat, so we can try to get her back in. Especially if you want to jump in between rounds or between games, we can try to troubleshoot that audio. Just let us know.
Voice.
Okay, gotcha. I can't get voice. Yep.
Nagini, what's funny? We actually
We
could
could hear you.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah.
you need to change the output setting for yourself to see maybe why you can't hear us.
Yeah.
We did hear you at one point though.
Yeah, and
Well,
then Luke goes for that shot. It bounces back out. Blen picks it up. Blen sending it over to Dasta and Palador. Palador and Dasta doing a little bit of dribbling there, keeping control of that disc, and that's what's really important. Dasta gonna take another shot and able to put it in for 2.
Beautiful. I would call it a pull through gameplay right there. I call it pull through because one of the people pulls off of the person with disc, and they get that boost to be able to pull up and kind of do a cut pass in a way, like an upward cut pass. Beautiful gameplay right there. Palador is doing amazing right now on some of the stacks that he's maintaining with. I think him and El Catrine, I've seen some really good gameplay right now. So really impressed. Is he new to the team? I swear to God, I did not see him before in the league. Did he just
Who?
join the team? Palador, or was he always there? Did I miss that?
He played I think last week.
Oh, wow, I did
So
not
yeah.
see. Sounds good. Looks like we got 2 more points on the board for Luke, for Tyro NA. Looks like that's their first goal this game, finally putting 2 points on the board. There is still a 7-point lead by 7S's.
They will
I
still
guess
need to sit one.
yeah, they will still need to sit one. Looks like they're really maintaining that 7 in their name. I don't know if that really matters. Was that a good one? I don't think it was that good. Thank you,
beautiful, Chuck says. Gorgeous.
Thank you, Chuck, in the background for supporting me. And wow, some really good gameplay from 7S is being able to get some really aggressive gameplay up and able to kind of push it and get some potential shots on goal. Granted there was some ding rings here and there, but I'd rather ding ring than totally going for a wide shot and it does not work out, right? Those are not fun because I feel even more disappointed in myself when it doesn't even hit the ring.
It picking that up immediately as it bounces back towards her bubble. She is looking for her options to get that cleared out. Tries to get it over to Obsidian. It ends up connecting with Panda Cub. Panda Cub clearing it down. Cool looking to get back into goal there. Luke on that as well. Cool sending it over to Carl. Carl trying to get it over to the stack. Obsidian able to pick it up. Jim and Obsidian breaking up there. Carl misses the grab just there, but Jim's able to pick it up. Jim coming towards goal with that and puts it in for 2 points.
Wow, that was definitely hard for the goalie to read. I think there was 2 people in that area. I was not sure if Jim was going in for a pass potentially, I believe, to Luke onto his left or going in for the shot. And as we saw, he did go in for the shot, and the goalie was not ready for that because I definitely wasn't either. So I definitely feel that.
And Chuck, just letting you know, the double overlay has reappeared. It is like a ghost. Oh, okay. We've lost Asa, so that brought it back
Yes,
up.
unfortunately, we did lose somebody. They do not have a 5th player to play on 7S's.
And he's back, and it's back.
Oh, perfect. Good for them. That did not disrupt them though, because they did have a shooting chance right there. So always impressive to see these teams. You know, even when they lose someone mid-game, and they're still able to maintain kind of their momentum and really
Oh,
not skill, but like just the team doing well, even with being down a player or two. Because
yes,
I feel like
yeah.
affect momentum, and you would say morale even.
Ooh, and they are bringing that together. Carl, Obsidian pitched that up to Carl, who was on top of goal there, and Carl dunked it. And so we are a 3-point differential here. So Tyro, it's really anybody's game still.
I know they really did come back. They had a really big lead, I think, at 7S at first, and unfortunately, we're not able to maintain that. And Tyro did come back, I would say, pretty fast. Pretty impressive. Looks like they are moving. 7S is trying to respond, moving it back and up the arena. Panda's looking for some cross passing. Does get clipped off of Pack, and unfortunately, Palador cannot read that. Looks like he does get cleared not at all, not all the way through. What was I saying? Let's interrupt my stuff. Looks like they're going for the potential passing option. Palador does almost get it in, but does get stolen from the goalie. A beautiful gameplay. Looks like Jim's coming in quick, but it looks like the shield is deflecting him, and it looks like Blue's doing really good, in maintaining their possession right now. Even when they're getting stunned out, getting fought everywhere, they're still keeping it within attacking, range and within the bubble. So definitely kudos to 7S's for keeping that attacking pressure on and keeping it hot. And somehow it is still not through the other half. It's still in the bubble right now for Tyro NA, and they're doing their best to fight it off and keeping it aggressive. And man, that Ding Ring is probably the best goalie right now in this game because it keeps fighting it out. And it looks like the defenders finally do not clear it out. Oh my goodness, it is. It is keeping it through, but they finally get to clear through around
Who
the valley
put
area.
magnets in the arena? Who put magnets in the
I
arena to keep
don't
that disc on
know.
orange side?
I
Who
know
was
that was
that?
how long was it on Orange's side? I feel like it was there for a
A
good two,
little
3 minutes.
while there, like a few
I know.
minutes.
I would be stressed, right? I would be growing white hairs right now. Just
And your
stressed
hair is
if I was on
black,
Orange.
so that's
And
pretty
yeah,
crazy.
yes, yeah, yes,
And you're young, so you
yes,
shouldn't be growing
yes.
white hairs. Yes.
Not yet, not yet. I don't have that level of stress in my life, and I don't want to. Let's keep it that way for now. And it looks like
Uh,
7S's is trying to load up for another shot, but they do not. It gets intercepted by Tyro NA, and that will close it out for round one. Looks like we have 7S's up by 3 points, and as Tasha said earlier, it is anyone's game. But dang, 7S's really keeping that attacking pressure on, and keeping that pressure up. Like, Tyron A definitely has been one of the teams where I've seen do really well in his league, and they are definitely getting, fought right now, and definitely got to work for it, right, to get those goals, which is always fun. I like seeing a team being forced to really work for those goals because it means that the teams that are playing against each other are definitely doing really well. Keeping the pressure on both sides.
I think I
And
have it
yeah,
working.
is that
oh, can you hear
Nagini?
us? We
That
can hear you.
is, yeah. Okay, good.
Sweet.
Looks
I
like
don't
we have
know what
Nagini
it
in.
is.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
that is Discord. That's how it goes. We were just kind of commenting on it earlier, but you're finally in. If you don't mind increasing your input volume just a little bit better so I can hear you, I would love that.
You
And
can
let me know if
also
I'm too
click on
loud.
her and increase her volume for you.
Oh, I forgot I
Yep.
could do that.
You
Got
can
it.
click on her and control it yourself. I'm gonna sit back and let you take this away, just like Calgon.
Awesome. How you
All
doing
right.
today, Nagini? I know you had a little bit of a problem getting in, and it looks like you're even in the Discord chat. Funny. Oh, sorry, not Discord. The Twitch chat. Funny enough. But how you doing?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was trying to get a hold of you guys. No, I'm great. How about you, Martini?
Pretty good, going for the marathon 2 hour stream for casting, but got to keep the pressure going. And I had a good time
Anybody
talking
can
with
do it. You
Deadline
can do it.
earlier.
Oh, I'm
You know
sure.
what? Wow, beautiful!
Oh
Oh,
my
I forgot
gosh,
it. It doesn't allow it to be a
Obsidian.
three.
Wow.
Beautiful headbutt opening joust by Obsidian there, really keeping the pressure on already for Tyra and closing that lead in. But not a good time earlier talking to Deadline, because I don't think I've ever really talked to Deadline just casually. It's always been in the arena. I think usually on opposing teams, because
Yes.
at this point we don't when we balance we do not play together.
Yes,
So
you always have to be across from each other.
yeah. And it's funny, like I think that happens sometimes with me and Skittles. Like it's funny with the balancing stuff. Like some people actually don't play with each other too much because of balancing issues, right? So it is nice when I'm able to play with certain players that I normally don't get to play. I think Skittles is definitely one of the people I don't get to play with too often. So it's always fun when I get to. And Deadline was one of the people that, yeah, I just don't talk to casually as much, because we're always on opposing teams, I think, a lot of times. But always get to
Yeah, I
talk.
can't wait to go back and listen to it. It'll be great.
Oh yeah,
I
always.
actually listened when he
Mm.
did his pop rock or whatever it is. There was a series of interviews, and he was one of them. Um,
Oh,
oh,
Money
Money
Mitch,
Mitch, that's
top of
right.
the
Yeah.
poppers. Oh my god,
Yes,
beautiful
oh
three
my god.
again from
Oh,
Tyro
Jim
NA.
Jim.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
I
they're
think it
delivering
was
these.
top of the pop there.
Top of the pop. Yeah, I remember Money Mitch did a little series. He did one with Franz. He has some really big Echo names on there. So I was really impressed
Yeah.
to kind of see the people that Money Mitch was able to bring on the cast and kind of hearing some of their backgrounds and how they kind of play Echo and that sort of stuff, right? So
Yes.
always really cool to see. And it's really cool, to have that documentation, really, I would say, of those cool Echo moments and Echo players and Echo history considering the sunsetting of the game, because unfortunately in the future that will be, um at least to our knowledge, the only way that we can really enjoy Echo, or at least zero G team gameplay, right? As I don't know if you all seen on Twitter, there was definitely a mention a while back about Echo will not be the only, there will not be a zero G team game, and I'm excited to see kind of the
Don't
projects
make me
coming out.
cry.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming up. I don't know if you saw my event in Tyro where
Mm,
it's I made it right at the beginning when it happened, but it was, end of the world for Tyro, for Echo. And I,
mm.
I I don't know what day it is. I forgot what day of the week that's gonna be, but I think I might take the day off or whatever time just to really play Echo until the servers are down, That'll
Oh, it's my
ha-
summer.
you ever
I
seen those,
am
yeah, you
all
ever seen those
day,
games? Yeah, you ever
24
seen those
hours.
videos where someone where it's like people like, oh, like we're here until the server dies. Like I want that kind of moment with Echo because I've never,
Yes.
I've played a variety of I think multiplayer games over the years, but I've never, I guess I never enjoyed a game till its very end. Which unfortunately is happening, but we can celebrate that and kind of work with it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's gonna be a big party weekend.
And then we get to
Definitely.
celebrate my birthday. So
Wow. Okay,
not long has
Oh,
Tasha.
lost.
when is
Right
that?
after August 2nd.
Yay. Oh gosh. Oh,
Oh, dang.
yes, we're gonna have to party hard with you.
Party
Yes.
party.
Yeah, we should do a marathon stream, for Echo Dying. I'm just kidding.
No,
That
I don't know if we'll do that, but we could definitely
you
do some
know,
stuff to celebrate.
I'll be down to hop on for a marathon stream. I'll like I said, I might block out a day for Echo sunsetting because I put in a lot. Granted it was because of Tyro, but I definitely put in a lot of hours on this game between coaching and competitive play and casting now. So it's just I don't know. It was so funny at first when I heard about the news and was kind of feeling it out. I didn't have a quick initial reaction, but as I guess reality kind of set in more, and as the news became more and more concrete in a sense of like, they made the choice and they're not going back on it, the more I was like, dang, like, I enjoyed this game so much, and it's going away. And I've been busy, the past couple weeks. I don't play Echo as much as I used to, but I still definitely have it will always have a place in my heart, considering how many hours I've kind of put into it.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. Especially winning that tournament for you, coach.
Ah, I still have that. My friends, I think, don't really notice it, but I have it. It's in the corner of my room next to my TV stand. And it's the I don't know if y'all knew, but Tyro did host a competition for, they would say, the academy season. So basically, the academies were teaching people, and as they kind of learn, uh, it was one of the first kind of couple of times getting hands-on competitive gameplay and trying it out. And we had teams competing, and then I think first season. It was actually me and Tasha's team in the finals.
Yes,
So
yes, it
and
was.
then for me, I was happy that my team was able to make it through. And I know Nagini still calls me coach, which is shocking because
I do.
I know you call me coach, but it's funny for me. It's funny because I don't feel like a coach in the sense of like I just haven't coached in a while. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
obviously I did do that, and it's still that's still there, right? You spend a lot of time coaching. I still have all my materials and all that stuff still there. Beautiful
Oh, I
gameplay
know. I
by
was gonna help
Len.
out with the academy until that announcement came, and then it was like, "Oh, I guess not."
It was weird because I think for a lot of coaches, especially with the academy talks moving around, it's like, do we do this as kind of the last um we're teaching the kind of last final people that can ever really learn echo, or is it not worth the effort, or people are not interested? But I've been hearing, I saw on the Ask Coast channel some people are still interested with some new folks coming in playing echo, and even though it's sunsetting, they're still open to playing the game. So I don't know, maybe I'll put on my old coaching to then maybe try out some beginner sessions again because it's been a hot minute. It looks like Tyro NA is now wow, they
Yeah,
really
look at
reversed the
this.
momentum. Yeah, it was 17-9 now with 7 S's. They were maintaining it in the first
Uh,
game, but now Tyro NA definitely is coming back. Looks like they have an 8 point difference, so I believe Tyro NA does have to sit somebody out.
they
That
do.
does push them over that 7 point differential. So we'll see how they're able to maintain that. And see what's going on. 7S
Nice
is moving it up.
passing.
Yes.
Yeah, great passing. Dust has it. One more pass. Come back up. All right, got stunned out. Reset to Luke. Gonna clear it to Trap. Who's gonna get there first? Oh, all right. Orange gets it through the other trap. It's really with this meta, it's good not to clear it all the way down, to just do it within trap.
Yeah, I noticed.
All right.
I mean, me and Deadline were talking earlier about, are there certain meta bounces? I would say, like, how do you played this, obviously format a lot of times by now. How do you feel
Um,
it's changed your normal competitive 4v4 gameplay style or way of playing Echo? Right? Do you feel like it's changed
I
anything? Do you play the
guess,
same?
yeah, I play the same. I know I need to play different. Oh, almost shot there. Nice try, Jose. Yeah, it does. And when you're goalie, to like stay back is so hard. You just want to go. And even re-grabbing with the goalie, I'm so used to, clearing and then getting the goalie, and it's like, wait, no, you can't come with me.
Yeah, I know some goalies have been very good at doing. I think you would call boost stacking, which is getting the person a
Yes.
boost, but not necessarily stacking down. Which is again, one of the really cool things about this game style, seeing different metas that form and how people can kind of change how they play. And even I think
Absolutely.
it's funny, the rule set for this I think is just different in general. Wow, beautiful three
Nice
from Danica,
panda.
stealing it off of the goalie's hands. I think very unfortunate for them,
Yeah.
but it did happen. But I remember, the first couple times we had brought up this 5v5 meta, we were a lot more stricter on the goalie play because I think some we did it like in Tyro a couple times randomly. But the goalie had to be strictly in bubble. But now, we've opened up the gameplay to allow it up to about bow tie. And I think I actually prefer that. They can QB better, they can play, that back line a lot better than someone who's stuck in the goal. And I think it's closer to what we've seen with stuff like soccer, where the goalie is in theory able to move up, but obviously they still have their box at their goal set is where they normally play their stuff in the box, right?
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah. That was nice obsidian on the bottom of that goal right there and
I
just
know
and
people
then
love. I've been seeing that a lot more in this meta. People
uh,
love playing those rim dunks, and it is working out for them. Maybe people are too busy with open comms to listen or notice anything, but they're doing really well at utilizing that dunk meta. I would say now, or rim dunk meta, you could
good
say.
way, yeah. Oh, good save there. Who was that? Jose? Oh, good stack down. Oh, overshot it. Got it back and I'm looking for the pass. Got it. Oh, I hate when they get on the bar there. It's so hard to stop that. Oh, Dast. Oh, Palador. Nice shot.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate clear from the
Oh,
goalie straight into Palador's. I
yeah.
don't even think he moved off a nug, but he was ready
No,
there to receive that and was able to get that shot in with the 3 points on the board. Wow, they're definitely punishing
coming back strong.
yeah, Tyro NA right now. So it's really good to see right now.
Yeah.
What is My spectator overlay is not working. That's fun. Yeah, looks like there's a
Oh,
lot of back and
we
forth right
didn't get
now.
spun out. Oh, went for the long bounce. Ah, nice. And didn't turn out to be a bounce shot, but it was a pass, and Das took care of it. Nice.
Yeah, they're doing
All
really good
right.
right now on,
It's a
I think, coming
2-point
back,
lead
right?
now. Yeah, they are coming back strong. And they have
And
plenty of
last
time
time
left,
I
so it could go
checked,
either
this
way.
is the first round too, I believe. Oh no, it was round 2 of 2. Actually, this is it. So we'll see if Tyro NA is able to maintain that
Yeah.
lead, or if 7S is this. I don't know all the S's. Tasha did it earlier, but we'll see if they can come back and the
Chuckles
really.
swore he would only do it once.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long team name. I don't know if we can put it on the stream, on the cast.
The
But it would be
sensational
funny.
7 savvy scoring stunning saving specialist.
Wow,
Nice.
specialist is the okay. You know what? That works. That works out for them.
Oh, we have a name for it now. BG came up with Dunk Metal. What, like that?
Dunk metal.
For-
Oh, you know
Yeah.
what's so
For
funny? I think
the
it does say
rim.
dunk metal with exclamation point, but you actually made it more
Oh,
interesting by saying dunk metal or off the dunk off the
yeah.
metal.
Oh,
So yeah.
meta, maybe is that an exclamation point? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the two.
But you actually made it more interesting. Dunk metal, good point. Because it is off the
Yeah.
metal, off the ding ring. For most people's favorite ring, obviously.
Oh, Slimy is saying, I love that team name. Oh, all right. Where we go? Oh, Blue's gonna get it. Goes down, clears it. Oh, Dust is theirs. Is he gonna? Oh, got stunned out right at the last minute.
Yeah,
Might
really
be a
aggressive
pass.
gameplay by Luke, but it did work out
I guess
in
even a
their
3
favor.
wouldn't help them. I was thinking a 3 would get it for him. Jose to Panda. Nice. Yeah,
And
really well
that looks
played.
like, yeah, looks like it's closing it out. Taro NA wins this one with a 21-19 against 7S's, as we were just enjoying explaining, talking about earlier. And that was a close game. Wow, like that was, it's funny at the beginning, 7S's was really maintaining the momentum and holding it down, but Taro NA really did switch it around in round 2, and we saw them, came out of it winning. Really good switch up, yeah.
Yeah, they really came back strong. That was great.
Yes, yes, yes. Looks like we are heading to promo. We will see y'all back soon.
No! Wait! Wait! Ah!
Covered in blood.
Take it!
Petunia's Gaming Village is a fun place for gamers to come hang out and play video games with current or soon-to-be friends. One of the things that makes us a bit unique is our hybrid approach to gaming. We try to set up multiple events throughout the week for various games on PC, console, and VR platforms. One of our staple events is Saturday Night Spirits for Echo VR, followed up by a rotating game that everyone votes on ahead of time. Lately, we've been getting anywhere from 20 to 30 players signed up for this event, and it is a lot of fun. Oftentimes, we're just hanging out on Discord voice chats. I'll hop onto a voice chat in the afternoon while playing a video game, and one by one, the group continues to grow. We have some playing games, some working, others driving home, and on occasion, one or two are doing homework. In a nutshell, PGV is a place where we want you to feel comfortable and have a good time. If you're not currently a member, we'd love to have you come check us out.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. We were just talking about Phasmophobia, and I have never played Phasmophobia. I've seen, people stream it and that sort of stuff, and I want to play in VR. I'm really big into horror stuff and enjoying it because I don't get scared. So I enjoy playing horror games, watching horror movies, and I know it's not like crazy scary, but from my understanding, it does get scary because of some of the jump scares from the ghosts. So I think I might figure because I haven't figured out PCVR yet with my Quest. So I might just bite the bullet, try to figure it out maybe tomorrow before I believe Tuesday is the
Yeah, so
Phasmophobia event.
Tuesday night we'll have Tuesday night at 9 Eastern. I've played it a bunch that I mean Cootie's gonna catch up to me the way he's going. But right now we have Cootie, Chuckles, and Viper signed up, but we can try to rotate people in. Or we can do another spooky night.
I'm
Or
terrified.
can we run like multiple lobbies too? If
We could,
possible?
but we can only stream one at a time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys are welcome to run your own games for sure. It's way more fun to play with people because, like, if you die, someone has to go take a picture of your body so that you get insurance. So you get about half of your money back, so that you can, because you lose all your supplies if you die. But yeah, it can be pretty scary.
Oh wow. Yeah, I might just like
I know Viper
figure
said
it
he
out.
just tried it today and he's like, ooh.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm a
it
little
can be
He's
worried.
rough.
scared.
It's even a big deal for me to watch like a horror movie. So like VR horror. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
Same,
like the
Jim.
most
I couldn't do it.
visceral. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the most visceral way of experiencing horror, I guess. Like live
Hmm.
through your
Yeah.
like eyes in 3 dimensions. Yes.
Hmm. Definitely. So I don't know. I think I'll do a little bit of research because I literally just found out about this game a second ago.
You
And
could play it in 2D. I mean, as Tasha mentioned, which
oh,
is definitely an
okay.
option.
Yeah. All right. Maybe that I could handle.
Yeah, you play ghost hunting in 2D, and then some of us will be in VR potentially. Maybe I'll figure it out.
Mhm.
We'll see.
All right. All right. I'll have to figure it out. Hmm. All
All right,
right.
we got our fifth one.
Um.
Yes, and it looks like this is who is this? Like Condriax versus Arcanum and Friends, right? Or is that different now?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, 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 okay,
My
okay.
team. Hmm.
Well. Oh yeah, I got the Nagini stack. Oh my God, you're on cast
No,
now.
base
So
is
oh,
sitting
they're not.
out.
Oh, he's not there. Dang.
Yeah.
That was so
They've
funny. I forgot if I said it or someone else, and I was like Nagini stack, and I was like, oh my God, that actually works
I
because
don't think
they're
they've
both
heard that yet.
servers. It was funny.
It was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, how is it? You know what's so interesting? Like the fact that, you're a parent and you're all playing this
Yeah,
game.
this
Like
was
how do
my
you
dream to be
yeah.
like on the same team. That's why I left, well, whatever, the sevens. Otherwise, I was not leaving them. But when Robbie and Ryan said, "Oh, we want to play," and I was like, "Okay, can I play
Oh.
with you?" They're like, "Yeah, come on, mom." I'm like, "Yes."
Oh.
That's
I love
awesome.
that so much.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Adorable.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so but base is
Yeah.
sitting out this one. They were before game, they were asking me. That's why I had to mute so much. I was like, I'm live. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Well, who's sitting out?" I'm like, "I don't get paid enough. You guys have to decide that."
I don't get paid enough.
I'm
I love it.
dead. I'm dead.
Above my pay grade, guys. You figure it out.
That's funny.
I'm your mom in real life. I'm not being your mom in this game.
Yeah, not to everybody else. Chili,
Chuck,
happy,
real quick,
southernly, quackless, you can figure it out.
real quick, Chuck. Can you just pull up that stream?
I was gonna say I have feedback right now.
No, he's not live.
No.
Or
I-
Oh, do you want me to? Sorry, I took it off because I wasn't
Oh, you're
looking
good.
for Viper. I can do it right now. Yeah, let me share. Let me
Thank
share.
you.
All right, let me
Appreciate
know if
it.
you see it. Cool.
Oh, that'd be
Looks
good.
good. Oh, they
I'm
see it.
getting
Yes,
so
yes.
much
We all need me to
feedback.
pull it up now that I finally got my gaming PC. Let me know. I'll pull it up. Yeah, I'm excited. I got my gaming PC, I think, about a month or two ago, and honestly, I've been using it more for casting than gaming, but it's okay. I'm using it. That's what I'm happy with. But I'm really considering getting a second monitor set up, but
well, you
I
should
don't know.
definitely grab Phasmophobia because that's a good one. It's not like too heavy on stuff, and
Yes,
yeah.
Ark, I love y'all, but I was like
Oh,
so scared to hop
I
in.
think
Yeah.
we're kind of like we're on our last days with Arc
That's
because
on the way
Oh,
out.
what
we've
happened?
slowly worked it out of our system. It takes a
Oh,
while, but
okay.
yeah,
It's
I,
so grindy. Like, I mean,
we'll still play. We're still playing, but
okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah,
if you're looking
let
to
me
play
know.
Arc, you can still join us for a little
Yeah,
bit.
let me know. I mean, whatever second or next multiplayer game y'all decide.
Well,
I've been
and you
wanting to get
guys
more
are
into multiplayer
always
gaming.
if you have a game
Oh,
that you would like to see in the server, we are always open to anybody saying, "Hey, I'm playing this game." And trying to get people to play with me. So organize some like play sessions, throw up a
Yeah.
sesh, and then if you get enough people playing, we can make you an ambassador of that game and make a channel for it, and you can kind of cultivate your specific
Okay.
community in our server. So like, yeah,
I guess I'm nervous about it
we are
because
here
I
in.
don't have a game that I like would I guess would push on the people.
I just did.
Yeah.
And we
I
can
think
hear
he
him a
is
little bit.
on top of
Right,
it.
Jeff?
Oh, do you want me to mute then? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're okay. You're okay. Just
I'm
letting him. It's more so he knows that he could be heard on stream, just in case.
okay.
But like Martini said earlier, Martini had a thing where Luke was casting in the room Martini was playing for one of our games, and it was a rough match. Like we were playing guys who were pretty cocky, and we pulled it out in the third round and beat them, and it felt
my
really
favorite. I
good.
think it literally ended with a crazy 3 on a goalie that went to OT or something like that. It was some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I'll never
Ooh,
get
that
over
was
that.
nice race. Oh, almost didn't connect. Too bad.
Okay, I'm gonna shush now and let you guys run it.
All right. Looks like Southern sends it down Valley. Looks like a bit of a clear, but it hits the right boot and then the left boot and then bounces up to ceiling and it is a loose disc. Who's gonna get it? Who is it gonna be? It's still loose. Looks like no one's grabbing it. Who will grab it? And who is that? I can't quite see to be honest. Oh,
Uh,
disc out
Black Gold?
Black Gold.
Just
Thank you.
HAL Black Gold.
All right, and then the stack with Quack, and Quack grabs that disc. Looks like he's looking for a pass option because, once again, this meta, if you clear it, you're basically giving it up to the other side. So Southern gets that disc, sends it down. Chili picks it up, it gets stunned out. Comms grabs it, sends it through mid, bounces off of that diamond down there, and gets sent out, gets sent to Rev, who is juking around, buying time, looks like. Sends that pass down, but unfortunately, guy on post gets stunned out. Sent down Valley. Future picks it up, sends a bounce shot, looks like, hoping that his team will possibly grab that. Looks like they do. Oh, shoots it, but it's saved by comms. Looks like Quack's going for that rebound. Unfortunately, he misses the read. Gets sent through on right tunnel. And open goal, and that's a shot from Black Ghoul for 3 points. Very nice.
Nice play.
Yeah, very nice. They really did a good job of like pulling everyone out to the other side and then getting that goal.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
All right. Yeah, that was a good
Let's
save
see.
earlier, Raj. All right, looks like they're playing a little bit slow. Happy sends it down same side to Southern. Southern sends it across, but it looks like it bounces, but it's picked up by Quack, who's
Recovered.
doing a little bit of juking. Sends it over to Chili, who sends it up to shoulder, where Future goes for the shot, but unfortunately misses. Gets sent back out to Quack, who is slowing it down a little bit. Sends it out. Looks like a slow bounce shot that is assisted and put in by Future Bolt with an assist from Quack.
Beautiful attempt off the bounce. I think he went a little too light on the throw, but maybe it
Yeah,
was a pass.
yeah,
Maybe it was a pass right over the future.
yeah.
It
Maybe
does work out.
you
But
know
pretty close
it was
game right
nice.
now coming out between what is
Very
it,
close.
Arcane? Yeah, Arcanum and Achondriacs, right? We have 3v2.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see. So they send it up. Ooh. And they send it down, and it gets caught by looks like the goalie. I couldn't quite see the name. Chili
Happy Pat
grabs it,
is
sends
their
it
goalie.
down, clear. And the
Right
orange
back to the
goalie
other
grabs
goalie.
it. Let's see. All right, it's intercepted by Ghoul, who sends it out, but it
Oh,
gets
nice
intercepted by Quack.
Quackless.
Very nice. And he's doing a little bit of juking as Quack does. And he sends it down to his teammate on ground. Chili goes for the bounce shot, but it looks like he misses. Gets picked up by Rev, who goes for the semi-clear. Um, and it looks like it gets slapped out for the reset, but the reset misses. And there's a shoulder shot, and it's in from comms for 2 points.
Nice play.
There was a little bit of a stack.
Strumming is I think we're doing like Vermal rules, right? With the half cycling strumming. I believe I heard someone in the background ask, was that
It was Ryan.
if you I don't believe strumming is allowed. I
I
think we do
tried
like
to mute.
general rules, right?
I'm actually not sure, to be honest.
I don't think it ever came up.
No, well, strumming's not. I meant half cycling. Okay. Well, what if you
Yeah,
have
I
fun
think it's
while
to
half
help
cycling?
prevent too much. I don't want to say exploitation of mechanics, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like doing all the regrabs and everything else. I think it's fair enough. You don't got to go too crazy, right? We're not playing for master tier here.
Exactly.
All right, looks like we do have a contract coming out with Happy Path on the disc. Going in for the pass does not quite connect. Does kind of hit off a couple geos and does get chipped, I believe. Looks like going for this back. Oh
Ooh.
wow, shot right off of the backboard. Rev puts 3 more points on the board for Arcanum, and it looks like Arcanum and friends are coming in pretty hot. And it looks like yeah, it's good. It's a good round. What are y'all feeling?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
8-point lead, so they're gonna have to sit someone out.
in terms of echochondriacs, they're doing good. They're just, not hitting the shots. I think if they get one more pass in there,
Mhm.
that's really just what they need in order to, secure that goal.
Yeah, they're definitely. I've seen them in a variety of, I think, attacking options that kind of just went a little too wide,
Hmm.
or just kind of hit off the ding ring. And I'm
Yeah,
wondering, they have it in them. Maybe they just need to be a little slower or look up more for those cross passes. And
yeah,
don't always have to take everything, on their own, right? That's why
exactly.
in this game, when I first started playing Thermal, I was heavy on like if I see like potential play, I'll always kind of push it through. But I
Hmm.
think the longer I've been playing now, the more I've been focused on if I see a potential passing option, I almost always prefer that versus having to force it in or attack, make the gameplay myself, right?
I
Don't get me
completely
wrong, there are
agree with
definitely times where you should definitely make the play and push in, right?
that. But it's all about, really picking those moments wisely, because the thing is, there's a two from, you force it in and you manage to make it in, by the smallest of chances. And then there's the two that, your whole team was involved, you all passed it, you worked it into the bubble, and you confused the defense, and that's how you got it in. And that too is just so much better. Yeah, it's the same
Exactly.
amount of points, but it's that feeling of teamwork, it can't be matched in my
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean, as people mentioned before, I think Skittles says this a lot, going for those high percentage passes, right? And
Mhm.
even you can say high percentage plays, kind of an extension of that, because those cut plays tend to be more, reliable than for you pushing in on 2 or 3 people in bubble. And especially, in this sort of meta, it's 5v5, you have more defenders on you. They can play man coverage.
Mhm.
You got to focus more on strategy and like executing better on different strategy, right? Versus, I
Exactly.
would say in the 4v4 meta, player skill I think makes a bigger difference. Versus now, you can just have good team strategy, defending people and
Mhm.
be good, right?
I think
Regardless of the skill difference.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think you're right in terms of like a team can have, let's say, like lower level skilled players, but if they're actually working as a team together, they're going to be much better off than, people trying to solo, because the more people you add to that, the chances of you getting that just goes way down with each person. So,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know.
And especially now with the perma goalie, so there's always someone back there. You can't. I mean, you can sometimes find the goalie out of position, right? But it just doesn't happen quite as often,
Yeah,
versus in the 4v4, right?
exactly.
Where someone does get pulled out, and so you see right there where someone's trying to walk it up, trying to even stun someone out and push it through, and they do get stunned out. And I know they're down a player, but honestly, they did more passing gameplay. They probably could have made it work, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
A
definitely.
perfect moment right there to explain. Go for those passes. You got your teammates. Use them.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, let's see. Yeah, it looks like now that they're down a player, it's a bit of more of a back and forth. I think that once again, Echo Contracts, it looks like they're panicking a little bit. They're not going for those passes as much. They're kind of just, holding on to the disc a little bit more. Let's see. All right, here. This is good. They're splitting up. See what happens here. All right, good. They go for that pass. Another one. Very nice. Ooh, unfortunate. Yeah, I would say they'd want to like slow it down a little bit, pull it back, really make sure they're in position. I know it's
Mhm.
hard, but you know.
I mean, I don't know if you saw. I believe Suddenly was actually on the backline area, and they could have gone for the reset. Right, again, like
Mhm.
really
Yeah,
focusing on those open passes more so than, I have disc in hand. And I happen to be in the bubble area, and I want to push it through.
right.
And wow, beautiful stack coming in, right
Right.
off the goalie, and it almost goes in for the three off the ding ring off of someone's
Ooh.
head, I believe. Does not quite work out. And again, the best goalie in the game, the ding ring was right there, ready to
Right.
send it back out.
There we go. All right, it looks like Quack is moving it up, and they stunned out the goalie and got a nice two. Good
Yep,
job.
really good gameplay for the two stack to come up and go for the stun. Not gonna be nitpicky, but I know Quack definitely could have gone for the three from Nest, but
Oh, definitely.
not saying that Quack could have done a little better. But Quack, I know you can do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Sounds like that's a challenge, Quack. Next time you're playing Martini, take the shot.
Oh my
Take
goodness!
that
If he
shot.
starts
Take it.
scoring, if he starts making threes on me left and right, I'm gonna be mad and just shut up next time. I'll be like, Quack. It's so funny. I don't play with Quack too often, but every time I play with Quack, I really enjoy playing with them. And I feel like I don't know. I don't say like me and him like have amazing chemistry, but I definitely have like solid playing chemistry with them when I play with them.
Yeah,
Because I think I go to some of the spatial things here and there when I have time. Because I think Quack definitely plays a lot more of that stuff than. I don't want to say he doesn't play Taro stuff, but he doesn't play it as often as definitely the spatial stuff for sure. So when I do hop into stuff and I see Quack, I'm like, it's always a good time to see him.
for
I've
sure.
learned so much from him. He's been
Oh,
amazing
he's an amazing
every
player.
time.
And I forget
Yeah.
every time until I see him, and I'm like, oh, well, God, like Quack's pretty good. you know. But it's because I just don't play with him often, right?
All
Yeah,
right,
I'll
and
tell you,
good
when I
job.
saw him say he was looking for a team that very day, I was like, "Did anyone snap you up yet?" He's like, "No." I'm like, would you join us?" He's like, "I'm all yours." I'm like, "All right." So happy.
looks like we just hit our follower goal. We hit 50 out of 50, right? Am I saying
Let's
that
Oh,
correctly?
wonderful.
So, hello, can I get a whoop
Heck yeah!
for
Let's
everybody? So yes,
go.
we
see
did
if
hit
we
our
can look
follower
at
goal.
who that is.
Yes,
Yeah,
who's the
let's
50th
Who
follower?
is
You
the
will
I may have
50th?
to
may.
call them out because it's not good to call people out if they're not active. But if you're
Uh,
willing to tell us if you just
Oh,
followed,
Blend.
I believe it's
Blended.
it
Glenn.
So
He
was
you're
said you're
Glenn.
welcome.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Let's
Yeah,
go,
buddy.
Glenn.
That's my
Woohoo!
brother.
Let's go.
Woohoo!
Let's go. All right, Blen. All right, Blen. Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you for that, Blen. We're having a blast.
Thank
I
you
don't
so
know.
much.
Yeah.
And thank you to
Hi.
everybody else who's followed the other 49.
I guess the other 49.
We
Yeah, we
You're also
appreciate you,
appreciate you
supporting.
49
as
as
well.
well.
We've
Yeah.
got some fun things planned. We've talked about maybe doing some fun giveaways. We got all these games we're gonna play together. Like we're gonna have a good time here, and we hope you will have a good time with us.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we
Hope
hope so.
that. All righty. Let's see.
That was a sensational follow. Is that what that was?
Sensational. I think it was actually a sensational 7 savvy scoring, stunning, saving specialist follow is what it was.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Honestly, just because of that, I think you deserve a shout out.
And a
That was
drink.
right. Yeah, and a drink.
I don't
Oh.
have any alcohol on me, but I do have some water, so I'll take a drink.
You know what? Close enough.
uh,
Drink, drink.
chug, chug, chug.
All
Chug,
right,
chug,
Martini, we got the Nagini stack coming in.
I know, I
Let's
just saw that.
go.
So we have future, and it looks like base are in. So we have the future. We have the Nagini stack, and I think Quack stack was Southern League Quackless last time, or I forgot who was on that. So we have the two hot stacks that I saw last time from the Chondriacs. So we'll see how
Yeah.
they're able to
They're
maintain it
totally
right
sitting
now.
out.
Yeah, they are down
Mm.
6 now instead. So Arcanum and Friends is able to bring in that 5th player. We'll see how the Chondriacs is able to combat against that. And we'll see how this joust goes off. And it looks like it's a slow joust. What's going on?
Ooh, that is a little slow. Let's see. Nice grab from the goalie. Sends out that clear. And is the other goalie going to grab it? Yes, they are. So it's another clear, but it gets stuck in trap. Future stuns out Reb, grabs that disc, sends it back into play. Looks like that disc is going to stay low, get picked up, and sent over to Quack, who's going to get stunned out, and the disc gets grabbed and sent back through tunnel. Let's see. Ooh, looks like goalie was a little bit out of position, but no worries. Blue is back in time to pick it up. Oh, excuse me. And disc gets sent through. And it is a bit of just a back and forth, it looks like, between the two goalies almost. Oh. Sent through.
Yeah, it looks like the team can't really decide on who to maintain possession. And I don't know if y'all actually saw Southerly mess the rim there, but he did fall. He did fly past one of the blocks.
Oh
So thank
no.
goodness they did not get a shot on that because it would not have worked out for the goalie. And I know how that is because I hop in a goal a lot more than I used to, but I definitely don't have the goalie instincts where I definitely miss blocks sometimes when I'm coming in hot off a stack or even miss the rim, right? So it definitely is very frustrating when you miss that grab and you're not able to quite get your hand on it, and someone scores on you. But
For sure.
fortunately, in this moment, that did not happen.
Good thing. Yes, it is one of the most frustrating things when you think you could have had it, but you just missed that rim.
Yes, and it looks like they are clearing back and forth quite a bit. No one's able to really maintain offensive possession right now, which is not quite working out for either team. And it looks like they tried to whip it in, it does not work out. Ding Ring said goodbye. You're going right back out, and it's still stuck on blue side. We'll see if if Kondrax is able to push it through, and they try to clear it through, but it does get intercepted. But it's fine. It's going back and forth. And again, these teams are not letting anyone up on a possession time right now. And it looks like the Quack Sack does fly right in. And they weren't able to quite read it, but I think they're able to still receive the disc as Quack is looking around for some potential playing option. He goes in for the shot and does get 2 points on the board for the Contracts, closing in the gap to a 4-point difference. So they are
Very
definitely getting closer.
definitely. I'd like to see a little bit more teamwork from Blue, you know. I just want to see a
Yeah.
little bit more passing, and I know they have it in them. They're all fantastic players. Let's
This is
see.
the first time Southernly's been with us, so that's probably the learning curve.
That okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah,
He
but I mean,
just
yeah.
joined. Dr. Turt had to leave, and then
no, that's
Southernly
unfortunate.
just came in with
Oh,
us.
okay. Nice stranded
Nice
as I learned
practice
that's
Yeah.
to
called,
base.
yeah.
See,
Base playing,
that's
yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying though. I noticed I don't want to say Kondrax feels like they're kind of forcing it, but there definitely are some more open passes I could have seen happen.
Hmm.
But they are making it work. So it
It's
does work. If it
working.
works, it
It
works,
is
It's
you know.
working.
working. Yeah. We were hopeful coming into this.
It's a
And
pretty close
once
game. I mean,
again, it's like the same
Yeah,
thing that happened
absolutely.
in my game just before this. Like we did not have that first round, and then you need
Mhm.
it to warm up, and then you come back in the second one. So you never know what can happen.
You know, I've definitely seen an echo
Yeah,
that
I
first
feel
round
it.
being a warm-up round.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
it's only 2 rounds of 12, so what can
right.
you do, you know? It's
Exactly.
yeah, it's great.
Ooh,
Nice stun.
very nice.
Picked up by Southern Lee. Going down. All right, picked up by Jessica Cat. Waiting, giving people time to get open. Nice.
Very nice grab from Happy.
Nice,
Happy is
happy.
one of those players that
Mm.
plays an amazing backline. I
Oh yeah.
He just knows where to be. I love that.
You know, it's so funny. I feel like I still have this old idea of Happy because I think he was one of, I forgot if I coached him or it was part of like a coaching class I was in, and he
Mhm.
was a part of it. Beautiful 2 points on the board from Comms VR,
Yeah.
for Arcanum and friends. But I remember, you know, he was one of the people that was in one of those classes. So I think I'm so used to seeing how he used to play.
Mhm.
And then now whenever I play a game with Happy, I'm like, oh my god, this is not the same. This is not the same guy. And
Yeah.
that's how I feel with a lot of players. You know, I forget. You know, I feel like being a coach and seeing people learn from the
Mhm.
beginning. You kind of, I hate to say it, but sometimes you like remember them and how they used to play, and you
Right.
forget that they're definitely
Mhm.
a lot better than they used to be, and they play so
Yeah.
well. Happy's
Mhm.
one of those ones where I forget how well he plays, and then I see him in the back line, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
He's great. He plays on my VRML team, and he just has such a good attitude.
mhm.
He's super chill. I was a little a grumpy girl tonight. It's just been a long weekend.
Mhm.
And like I love that he maintains his calm. He maintains his tranquil
Positive outlook.
presence. Yeah, like he's just
Yeah.
such a good guy, and like uh yeah. So it's just fun. He's a fun guy to play with. I was
Yeah.
glad when you guys picked him up.
He's awesome. He was on my academy team, and I had so much fun playing with him. And yeah, we were the back stack, and it was a lot of fun.
There
Very
he
nice.
goes. Nice,
Huh.
happy.
Very nice.
Speaking of,
Very nice.
Yeah, they're pretty close. I
Yeah.
think I mean at the worst it's like 8, 10 point difference, but
Mhm.
don't know what happened in that halftime. But the contracts definitely did talk something through because they are definitely pushing through this round and doing a
Oh.
really good job at maintaining at least a close deficit against
Mhm.
Arcanum and friends. Um, and yeah, how y'all feeling about this game? You know, how's it going?
It's definitely a really close game. I'm starting to see a lot more passing now, which I really like. Like that was a beautiful
that
reset.
long reset.
A little bit
Oh, right
unfortunate.
when you said sorry.
Does get picked up.
Sorry.
Just as I said that, I may have jinxed it. And
Casters
then another
curse.
very nice pass. Let's see. Ooh, and the anchor shot unfortunately did bounce out. Let's see. Ooh. All right. Well, that was another good pass and a cut. See?
Oh,
Very nice.
happy path
You
to
know,
victory.
Another
maybe they got
assist
the
from
Nice.
cast
Happy
on and they
with
hear
the
us
shot from
in
base.
the background.
They do. Ryan's right here.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's funny. But yeah, as you
Um,
can see, our Konyax is taking more time and getting some more passes in when
yeah.
possible, and it's working
Mhm.
out.
He
I did
is.
see, I think Fuchsia tried to go in for that three from Ness on a goalie, but he hit the tinkering. I'll give him that. He almost had that bottom pocket. If
Almost.
I'm confident in that shot, I would have taken it too, to be honest.
No, same here.
Yeah. Oh,
Very close.
Yes,
Ooh.
it looks like the disc is flying back and forth, and we got the triple
yeah.
stack from
The
Arcanum and
triple.
friends. However, there was some miscommunication because that clock did
Wow.
not receive the pass. And it looks like we have another triple stack from a Kondrax. Looks like this team is really, this game is really about the triple stacks, apparently.
Really is.
Um, yeah.
Hey.
And it looks like the blue stacks
Oh,
are coming in pretty hot. They are looking around for some potential passing options. Quack does
cutting
get
out.
intercepted by the orange defender, and he does send it through, and it does not pass to Crimson, as it does get back in Happy's hand, and he passes it all the way back through also. But, Quack is there to receive it. Looks like they got to pass off to Boot. And wow, I got to give credit to our Cayman friends. Their defending, I think, is definitely pretty top tier this game.
Yeah.
They're keeping the pressure on to,
For
I
sure.
would say, those people that they're seeing might be potential passes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I'd like to see a little bit more slowing it down, though. It looks like they're really trying to make a lot of really long Pass it. That was a great shot. All right. I mean, I can't say anything. That was a great shot.
You know what, Future? If
I
you can keep
had to
making shots
mute.
like that, you should do it.
That was a great shot. But in general, I would like to see a little bit, closer passes, make sure they keep that possession. But they're doing a great job. They really just tied that up, and that was a beautiful shot.
Yep. And it looks like I believe Arcanium might be down a person. I thought I saw somebody in the launch tunnels, or maybe I read that saw that wrong. But it looks like they are playing through. And the Chondriax is going for that slower possession play. However, there was some miscommunication on their back line, and it looks like it's not all the way through. Looks like they go for the really deep reset. Will the goalie read that? Yes, yes. Suddenly will read that. Goes in for the deep
Beautiful.
pass, but does not connect to Quack's hands. Does clip off a couple geos here and there. Yeah. What are you seeing right now, Nagini? Anything?
Oh, I'm just listening to Future in the background. It's so funny.
Okay.
We were celebrating with that last goal. That's why I
It
had to mute
was definitely an
myself.
unexpected one. I believe Jim was literally in the middle. Um, I would say commenting on things that
Yeah.
it did exactly the opposite of what he said.
What? Yeah, listen,
This is
I'm always
oh
happy to stand corrected. That was a very nice 3 from Comms VR.
yeah, nice shot.
And nothing more
Uh,
fun than saying someone should do something. The team does the opposite and still scores
Right?
in the middle of a cast. But that kind of comes with the live casting, right?
Exactly. Don't mind me. I don't know everything, I swear.
no, it's all good.
All right. Another oh, but Future was down there. Looks like he goes. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, beautiful kind of behind the back,
Nagini
kind of a
stack
weird
right there.
angle.
Mhm.
But he does get it in the goal.
Yeah.
What's really good at those angles? I always say Chili. Chili Cow is crazy on the
Oh,
bottom of goal. I
oh my
hate
Oh,
some with
God.
the
he
low.
is.
Yeah.
Whenever I see shots like that, it reminds me of him because Chili has
Yeah.
some crazy below the goal shots, and
Yes.
it's almost like he specializes
Absolutely.
in it. I would say,
Mhm.
and he definitely takes advantage of that.
Oh, for sure. If you see him under there, he's always getting my pass.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
very
nice.
nice. Anchor shot from shoulder.
You know what? Future. Yeah, I know. Future's definitely taking those shots on goal right now, just like he can, and he's making them in. I'll give him that.
Right.
He did miss that three earlier. I will comment, but he's definitely
Oh
making them in
no, they're
now.
down a player now.
This is
Oh boy.
down to the wire.
Yeah,
They
it's a
are
shame.
down a player, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a shame.
Yes, it's down
Let's
to a
see.
1 point difference, and it is a 4v5. Unfortunate scenario for Arcanum and Friends, but a fortunate scenario for Icondriacs, as they are kind of keeping the momentum going forward for them. But again, credit to Arcanum. They're really able to hold it down and still fight it out, even until the very end. Um, and it looks like that does end it for tonight's version of the
Oh
Rec
wow.
League, with Icondriacs winning it out with a 1 point difference right at the very end against Arcanum and Friends. And I don't know how do y'all feel about the games today that you saw?
That was a great game to watch. I love seeing a team like claw their way back, and Arcanum and Friends just played fantastically the entire time. So that was
Yes.
really excellent gameplay to watch.
These were
Really
all
nice.
really fun games. We are so grateful for everybody that plays this rec league. We've had some really good comments from the community about how much fun they're having. So we're glad that we can do this. We've even discussed trying to do a round 2. We'll see how that goes.
Oh no, Tasha. We
Yes.
agreed on it, girl.
We're having a lot of fun. No, Nagini, you're amazing. Like Nagini's helped pick up some of the things that I was doing because like that frees me up to do other things. And we are planning so much more fun things for this channel as well. Like we said, we'll be doing Phasmophobia on Tuesday. And then next Monday we'll be doing a Jackbox night. So watch for those signups. I was quietly sitting here while everybody else was casting. I was working on the overlays for everything. So that we'll have some fun videos for y'all. So thank you so much to all the casters. Thank you to Chuck for doing our cams tonight. Yeah, just thanks everybody for supporting the community. We love having you, and we love having so much fun with you.
This was awesome. Thanks so much,
Yes,
everyone.
yes.
Thank you,
Such a
guys.
Good
We
night.
will
night.
see you on Tuesday for Spooky Tuesday with Tasha.
Ooh.
That will be fun. I will be seeing if I can
I
join.
just
Otherwise,
made
I
a
might watch.
creepy loading video, so that'll be fun. Not too creepy because I don't want to scare you too much, but
All right. Well, we will
yeah,
close
we're gonna
out
have
with
some
the
fun.
spooky promo. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Bye.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
everyone.
All right. You did great. Absolutely fantastic.